Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and you have never found two bigger hockey fans. NHL action, it's fantastic. Playoff hockey, it's where it's at. You're the Lightning, we'll be the Thunder.
Have two Florida teams ever played in the playoffs before?
No, I don't believe so. Could be wrong on that, but it just sounds. It's gotta.
I don't remember it happening. But
it's gotta make die-hard cold weather hockey people absolutely bananas crazy mad. That we have two of the. We are the best. We're the best hockey state. No one can. You can't even argue it. We're the hockey state.
Is it the equivalent of a Canadian baseball team winning the World Series?
Yes, because that is
their
Toronto
sport. Blue Jays or whatever, so because then and that's happened before, right?
That's a good question. I don't know. I am a new baseball fan. I couldn't tell you all 30 teams.
But and same thing with the NBA, right? It's like a Canadian NBA team,
Oh, no, we already beat them last year, so I don't know anything about anything. Lightning already beat the Panthers last year, so this has happened before.
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs.
All right. I feel like we do not have the information to be talking about that.
That's the best part.
Just like Nerdja.
I feel like that's the best part, is that people, I don't think people come here for that sort of knowledge. I think they come here more, we're like the hype men.
I do have one sports theory that I do have information on.
All right.
That I know about.
Is this a well-thought-out sports theory? What sport are we going to kick around?
The NFL.
Okay.
Even though it's a while before the NFL starts.
Going to be a minute.
So this is more of a theory about business and what I think is going to happen. So this whole Deshaun Watson thing, obviously he got a gigantic contract from the Browns, so big that it's unprecedented, and it changed the way a lot of people are going to do their contracts in the future because he got so much guaranteed money.
Yeah, it was a disgusting amount of dough.
And so now you're looking at, all right, the NFL is probably going to suspend this guy, right? Or punish him in some way, right?
Well, everybody else is getting punished for things. I mean, I would imagine that he's done some unsavory things and should be punished.
So, and everybody's guessing, all right, well, how many games is he going to be suspended for? Because
it should at least be less than Ridley, because we all know that Calvin Ridley did the most heinous thing you can. He did the most heinous thing that you can do as a man, which is to absent-mindedly gamble as an idiot on your own game.
So, I mean, on parlays, it's
insanity that they're even. It's just crazy.
But anyway, so I started looking at it last night, and I was like, a lot of people, I feel, look at the NFL like it's not a giant TV show. Because it is, and that's all it is. It's a giant
like a
reality show for entertainment, and they make a lot of money off of it. But I think people think that the NFL, the rules and internally, care more about the rules than they do about money, and that is not the case. I guarantee you they only care about money. Yeah, they're a business, and they want to put out the facade that they want to do the right thing, and then they care about, the safety of the players, and the players not doing egregious things off field and, being horrible people and stuff. They do not care.
Yeah,
they care about money, right?
They do.
And so, and I know that, or at least I assume that, because of their behavior and because of how the world works, right? It's just
so can
we're
you
a giant
bet
business.
On the suspension?
No, but what you can do now, they don't even have the season win totals for the Browns yet. No book has come out with them because they don't know how long he's going to be suspended. But here's my theory. right? I have a theory that all, like, not only Deshaun Watson, but his lawyers, his people, and the NFL have been talking behind the scenes to how to figure this out.
Oh, they're
for a
working it
while.
out, yeah.
And a lot of people think, like, oh, the NFL wants to punish Deshaun Watson because of what he did and whatever.
That means less people paying attention to what they're doing. I would say that that's a dumb thing to think, right?
Well, that's
less eyes on the Browns, and they don't want less eyes on the Browns.
Well, they need to punish him for public perception, right? They need, especially in the today's world where they want more female listeners, more families. They don't want to portray like they've gone easy on this guy.
But there's at least one guy, don't you think, that's saying, no, don't do anything. Let's just roll with it. We're big enough. We'll be fine. There's at least one guy, right?
Well, if there is, he's not smart because they know how much sponsors matter, and it's all a facade. By the way, I don't believe they actually care. I don't believe anybody cares.
They're just trying to figure it out, to look the best.
They care about public perception and about money, again. A lot of people don't know that Deshaun Watson and his contract with the Browns, the first year, this year, 2022, he's only slated to make $1 million. They organize his contract, so the first year of his contract is a small amount of money, considering it's like a $256 million contract or whatever.
Right.
It's only $1 million for the first year. And the reason I believe they did that is because I think that the NFL is going to suspend Deshaun Watson for a year, the entire this football season, right? As a way for them to portray that they're going hard on him, right? Even though they probably behind the scenes, I mean, they already structured his contract so he'd only be out $1 million of his gigantic $250 million.
Yeah,
so
if you're planning it all out, then what is it? It's nothing. I mean, it's
in the grand scheme of things.
It's a well planned out entrance into 2023.
And I believe the NFL is planning, as soon as they do that, to release a barrage of social media that says, like, oh, you're too hard on him. He didn't even commit a crime. Like, all the opposite.
Spin the narrative, yeah.
So spin the narrative to believe that they're getting flack for being too hard on him.
And then you play good cop by going, sorry, but this is what we had to do.
Yeah,
and you think that you look okay. But we all know what's happening.
Now, this is all just a high theory I had last night. And then
I can get on board with this.
Also, there's the Baker Mayfield component. He is still part of the Browns, and everybody's wondering why anybody hasn't traded for him, right?
This year. We need him this year, right? Or they need him, not we.
Well,
not Browns fans.
I don't know. Like, there's all this narrative and media that he's mad that they signed Deshaun Watson.
And I don't believe anything I read now.
And he went. Now, I'm sure he's not happy about it because he knows he's not going to be the future quarterback of the Browns, but these guys are multimillionaires and their agents are super smart businessmen, right?
Yeah.
And they're publicists and they know the media and they know public perception and they want their clients to make the most amount of money. So how would Baker Mayfield make the most amount of money? He plays for the Browns this year, right? And at least he starts playing for them again. Now, this may not happen. I don't know if it's already too far gone. I don't know enough about it.
Right.
But he starts playing for the Browns again because they suspended Deshaun Watson for an entire year. And then he's doing well. And then maybe if he does well, the Browns can get a bigger pick for him because another team
you
want
him to perform, sure.
He's performing well. Let's trade for him. They trade a couple picks.
And then you have the best quarterback, and then you got value for the old quarterback.
Yes, which right now they don't have any value for the old because everybody's looking at the Browns and they're like, well, you're going to get rid of him, so we're just going to wait till he goes to open market. Then we're going to get him.
Oh, man, you're hurting my heart with his whole, teams that know the value of players. The Falcons do not.
So this is all a theory based on what's best monetarily for everybody. And even though Deshaun Watson would get suspended for a year, but like he was going to at least get 6 weeks like a Roethlisberger, but I think he's getting more than that because Roethlisberger did his stuff at a different time in our environment.
Yeah, what was his?
It was the bathroom,
I remember what he did. What was his suspension? Yeah, that's a lot.
But a different time. When he did that, we were a different world.
No rhyme or reason with what the NFL does for anything. You're reading the chat room about Ray Rice and what he got, and then you look at all these different people and what they get.
Once that video came out, he would never play again.
It's insane.
Once a video of him punching his wife with full strength, or his girlfriend or whatever.
Elevator.
But so anyway, with that theory, right? that, okay, Deshaun Watson's not going to play this entire year, and maybe Baker Mayfield plays or whatever, obviously a downgrade from what they think Deshaun Watson was going to do. I don't know how to, I need to start researching what bets that I think can correlate with that theory, if that theory comes true. Because right now, no one's saying any of this. This is all I just came up with last night.
Yeah, I can see this.
But it makes sense to me because it seems like a win-win for everybody. NFL gets to put out the perception that they're being harsh on him, even though this was planned and they structured his contract so he'll make the most money. He's only losing $1 million out of $256 million.
Don't you think every team that was remember when the Falcons are supposedly bidding and there it was all this and he's going around to the different teams and visiting?
Yeah,
isn't every team that's even entertaining that, weren't they immediately going to the mattresses for a contingency plan for this guy? Every team, I mean, you have to. Just on the amount of baggage that he brings. He's bringing his talent to the table for sure.
Yeah.
But every team that was entertaining that was behind the scenes going, okay, if we do this, we got to have a plan.
Yes.
So that's why I think what you're saying is absolutely correct, because every blog that I've read, Falcons, Browns, whoever was in the running, always was talking about behind the scenes, we were deciding what we needed. Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
And maybe the Browns, and the reason why he went to the Browns is because they proposed this, hey, we'll structure a deal. We're talking to the NFL already, and
we'll work this out for you.
They're all in bed together. The NFL is in bed with all the owners because it's basically a monopoly. And the NFL wants the owners to succeed because they also want superstars playing in their league that make their content, their reality show better.
What is the percentage of people, average Joes, ourselves included, the three of us here, that see all of this? Because there is a yuck factor to all of this. What you're just saying about they're all in bed together. This was all planned. They know what they're doing. It's not a real punishment if they're working it into the everything you're saying is correct.
Yeah.
What is your percentage number that you put on? Because I'm getting a yuck feeling right now.
I love
gross.
The NFL. It's horrible.
I love watching them play, but I don't like hearing these stories because I'm like, why am I?
The NFL's a terrible company.
But there's a part of me though. I mean, there's
all
a part of all of
money.
us. I think there's a part of all of us in here that says, well, why am I supporting this? Right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it kind of makes you, turn a blind eye, or
it's the same thing with actors and actresses and musicians. It's we're gonna have zero entertainment because everyone's terrible.
Yeah. It's one of those things where do you listen to someone's music? Is that whole thing.
Yeah.
If they did something bad, it's
can you separate?
Can you separate?
In a weird way, and I don't know what
separate the product from the company.
Exactly. I don't know what Ghost and Manute Bull or Ryan in our Twitch chat room would say about this, but in a weird way, even though I do like his talent, there is a relief in me of knowing that Watson isn't on the Falcons because I don't need to be blatantly conflicted about having him on our, you know what I mean? There is a part of me that's I don't like this person. I don't believe he is a good person. I don't want to be rooting for, that's weird.
Now again,
that's weird.
Nothing has been proven.
Right. No,
nothing.
I know.
So it's all,
you're right.
It's all, as far as we know, it's all hearsay. And there's, so it's
a lot of hearsay.
But
buddy.
it is.
It's a lot.
Heaps of hearsay.
You got to at least be honest in the fact that, we don't know all the details. We have no idea.
Right.
But we have systems in place to say that. And you're right.
But I do think I know corporate greed. And this makes sense to my knowledge of corporate greed, which is this. And also because none of this, all his lawsuits, none of them are resolved yet.
No.
It gives them another year to resolve them all before he starts playing
or
again.
not resolve them all.
Yeah.
Right? Because if they have a contingency too, right? They got to be thinking about that behind the scenes. What if this spirals out of control? What if we invested in this and we can't control it? What if there's civil pardon me. What if there's civil cases what? Who knows?
Well, the thing is, they know it's only going to be civil moving forward. There's no going to be criminal cases unless anything new comes.
That's a lot of negative eyes, though.
But the civil case, he just got paid a gigantic sum of money. I imagine he throws a huge chunk at it to make some of this go away, and then bury the rest in some legal mumbo jumbo.
Man, I've always wanted that go away money.
You know what corporations?
That's a different type of living, man. When you got enough money to make your problems go away.
And again, I'm not saying this is all disgusting. Let me preface this by saying this is disgusting. But I'm just being
honest. The NFL's gross. You've always said that.
But I'm just saying the reality of what I believe is going to happen. And then also they know, and this is a trick that corporations have been using for years. The more time they separate from the event, and time will heal. People forget and stop caring, and then move on and stuff. And especially nowadays,
heals all axe wounds.
It just makes people forget. So the more time they can separate it, I think the better. Now I have no idea. That's my prediction. Let's see what happens.
Live from Cleveland, Curtis J79 from our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live if you want to be like Curtis. He is in Cleveland. He says, I live in Cleveland, and we feel that way. He is great as a player, but bad as a human. There are lots of women coming out against the Browns canceling their season tickets.
Yes,
see that.
Well, they got a bunch of negative press, but they'll
spin that. They'll work on that.
But this is why I think they'll come off.
All of that's in play. They're working it out.
I think the NFL has to at least have the public perception that they're coming down hard on Deshaun Watson.
It's kind of like when
maybe they do a year and then a couple of games from next year just to extra
You're right.
hard.
Yeah, they gotta whatever they're doing.
I don't think they come up easy. I don't think they let them play this year. There's some speculation that this usually takes a long time, then they'll let them play. I don't think they do.
We're not talking about a sports story here. This is purely a business story. And
yes.
This is what's interesting about this is I like your theory of them going way too heavy to capitalize on the fact that they know social media will rail in and go wow, can you look at what they did? They have to make the punishment.
Yes. And they'll put out their own fake social media. The NFL has the ability, just like Russia and everybody else, giant corporations.
Control the narrative and you're king. It's always been that way.
They'll pay for a Barstool Sports article, or they'll put pressure on Barstool Sports. Or
and they definitely got that money because they're the most expensive sports entity in the world.
And then Barstool will come out of the huge thing, like the NFL went too far. This is he didn't even, there's no legal thing, nothing's been resolved. You know what I'm saying? So
go put some smelling salt under Sam. She's passed out.
No, they'll try to spin the narrative so that it'll, that you're right, so that they look like they came down too harsh and they're getting backlash
as soon
from
as
it.
they can start.
But the backlash is fake, and then there'll be, and I think that's how they handle it publicly. Because could you see them not going harsh on them at all, suspending them 3 weeks?
Well, think about how.
That's way bad.
It's going to make me angry because I have players and I know of people in the NFL that have been suspended and done less, and then they're out for the entire year.
Especially after Ridley.
Ridley thing blows my mind. That you even the guy. All he proved is that he's just a bad, dumb gambler. That's it.
Yeah. He's just dumb. He's not even.
That's
gambling
not even
parlays.
Well, he gambled like I would. If I'd have loaded up my app and bet, I would have bet probably exactly like he did.
Yeah.
I'm not in that world. You're in that world. I'm not. It's all like you sitting behind my drum set and trying to do paradiddles. It's just not your thing.
But the only reason they did that is to set an example so that all the money they're getting for DraftKings and FanDuel.
Don't they keep it? They got to keep a record of what their punishments are so they all make sense.
Nah.
It only needs to make sense to
in the moment.
The bottom line,
yeah.
And that wasn't even a public thing. That was.
I'll never be a bottom line make sense guy because I'm not in that world either. I'm not a business guy.
Because that Ridley suspension, that had nothing to do with the public. The public was like, "Why are you being so harsh?"
Right.
But that was to make DraftKings and FanDuel and
stay with us. We're fine.
Their gambling partners happy because I'm sure the gambling partners are like, you can't have players or you can't have the public thinking the players are gambling on the game.
And changing the outcome of the game.
Because then people are not going to bet with us because they're thinking that it's somehow rigged.
Yeah.
We need as many dilly dodos betting $50, money they shouldn't bet, and giving us money on horrible
that's got
parlays.
A better ring to it than BDMs.
Dilly
We should have gone with dilly dodos.
Yeah, and I'm saying that because they'll bet
quadruple Ds.
They'll bet $50 on a 5-team parlay. They have zero chance of winning.
I would have done that.
And just that's how they make their money. They want those horrible bets. Anyway,
Yeah, I like that. That's actually one of the only theories he's come to the table with, of being blazed high in the middle of the night. I'm like, I support this one.
I think that's just common sense. I don't know that that's a theory.
Well, I don't hear anybody else.
Other people are speculating it's going to be 6 weeks.
But I'm not hearing anybody openly talk about the fact that we think that because I believe him. I think that the NFL will control the narrative.
Of course, they always do, though.
They get them little bots a roll in and get the bots throwing out the different articles. And, oh, my God, look at his suspension. It's so horrible. It's so bad.
They all work together.
People think that there is a more of this battle between the NFL and owners than there is. And behind the scenes, these
just
all guys
keep it moving.
They want to put that perception out that the NFL is this like organization that is hold true to their values, and the owners will try to make their money, but the NFL is going to stand up for what's right.
Let me give you.
They're in it together.
Yeah, well, let me give you
100%.
And the reason.
And Samantha, they're manipulating the public.
The reason Tom is 100% correct is because there was a time when I went to my management for assistance, and I'm like, hey, I know you guys will have my back. And they didn't. They had the company's back because that's their job. Their job is to keep the company moving, not to, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
The big entities got to chug on down the road.
It's just that they're all in it for the same reason, the money, and whatever's best for the money is what they're going to do. And then spin it so that the public thinks what they want them to think. It's all manipulation. And they have gigantic marketing
big
agencies.
Old pockets, fat pockets.
Billion-dollar marketing agencies that know how to manipulate the public. Like, if you think that people are only doing it with politics and stuff, they're doing it with everything. And they know how to spin the narrative, especially how easy it is, because it used to be way harder when there was only a limited amount of news source and you couldn't really get into Dan Rather. You couldn't get to Dan Rather and have him report something. But now, like, Barstool Sports, you can have Barstool Sports put out a story, and they've got millions of followers, and they don't care.
Where's the integrity? Who knows?
They don't care. They'll put out the story.
They're a business too.
Yeah, they want to make the money from whatever they get paid from NFL and DraftKings. They're all in it together.
At that point, it just becomes business-to-business communication. The journalistic aspects or integrity that should be in there doesn't even matter at that point.
And they'll be like, we're not a journal. We're not a legitimate journalist. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
like, we're Barstool
Sports. Our owner eats pizza and gets a rating. That guy.
But the public will read that story and take it as like gospel of the truth or whatever.
Print it out.
Or think that these people are they're reporting the truth. They have to. They're they're Barstool Sports.
I like this one. That's a good theory.
I think that now this
I'm really glad he didn't go to the Falcons. Oh my God, I wouldn't have been able to watch this year.
They'll trade Mayfield this week to the Panthers, and then they'll only suspend Watson for 7 weeks. So I'll be completely wrong, but I think they go hard.
No suspension.
No, they have to. They
got to do something.
There's no way no suspension. It's coming. Something has to come because
in a weird
it's a different
way,
world. They cannot do nothing.
Just to see Samantha's hair fly up in the air, I almost wish it's 2 weeks.
They can't do that, man. They can't. Like, so many companies would be mad. Like, so many of their sponsors would be mad, and they'll get too much flack, especially on social media. All their sponsors too. They don't want the people piling on social media. Like, oh, you support the NFL?
Look at they go and look at any of the social media. Well, it was a lot more prevalent when it first happened. When it first happened. But you'd look at all the sponsors, and they're already teeing them up. Like, did you know? Like those accusatory text and stuff like that.
They don't want that heat. It's too easy for the public to give them heat now. Which the public has way more power than it used to, because 100 tweets will rattle a company. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not that much. Like, we can produce 100 tweets towards a company, and it would rattle them. Like, their social media department would freak out if we could do this. Like, if we had some sort of company that we wanted to attack.
Be a software guy. Get a couple bots, get a couple fake accounts, and off to the races.
I mean, we could manipulate a storyline just with our own listeners if we wanted to, and it would get people's attention. So billion-dollar companies can do it. Anyway.
100%. Take a break.
Yep, let's do it.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So I was talking to Tommy the other day, and he'll mention every once in a while. This kid was bullying me, and then I'm like, well, that's your friend, and he's like, yeah, And then I'm like, well, he's just messing with you.
Well, teachers and administrative staff have, and, what do you call them? Motivational speakers and positive people have forever been whacking us in the head with the term bully. So it's not surprising to me that he uses it a little more liberally than we would have. To me, a bully was
dunk your head in the toilet.
Big fat guy dressed in black. Ian,
Nelson from
Simpsons. I had a bully. Ian. He's the guy. I punched him in the face, but oh man, he got me good. He's kicking me in the ribs.
Yeah.
But it's like, he was a bully.
Yeah, and he
wasn't my friend.
It's different than your friend, because I was explaining to Tommy, I was like, so your friends, like I was telling him we hung out with our friends from Miami this weekend, and I'm like, I'll pull Fernando's pants down when he's not looking.
Yeah.
And that could be
no ass either. It's easy.
But I was like, we'll push each other down, we'll make fun of each other,
push him in the pool.
But we're friends that we're just messing with each other. Sometimes
put
friends
a cigarette butt in his beer.
Yeah. Sometimes friends do mean things to other friends, but it's out of love, not. Your intention is, especially
you're trying to explain this to sweet little Tommy, who's never had anything like that happen with him, including with his own brother. They don't fight, right? As siblings?
No. They're pretty.
So he has no concept of someone being mean to him out of, quote, love.
Yes, but I'm
so
trying.
It's a foreign concept to him.
It is foreign.
Did he explain to you what his, quote, friend did to him that he considered was bullying?
He was saying his friend was saying that Tommy was skinny and weak.
That's why he doesn't want to wear pants, or that's why he doesn't want to wear shorts. I'm telling you, I've been saying this from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
People have been making fun of his legs, being bullied about his skinny bird legs, and now he won't wear shorts anywhere.
And they'll do the thing where, like, Tommy's in love with this girl,
Sure. What's wrong with that? That's not being bullied.
And he was like,
it is when you're that young, though. Like, I don't want to say it was bully, but teasing. Yeah.
Teasing.
Because girls got cooties.
Well, you guys just let me know when you want to come to the source of being bullied. I'll just be over here, sitting here in my sadness.
No, he's not telling me this in a he's not upset or whatever.
No, he's just
mentioning it,
dude.
And then I'm like, well, and I'm trying to explain to him like, hey, this because. This is his friend at school that he hangs out with him. So I'm telling him like, hey, this is, he's just messing with you.
Did you
mess
tell
with
him
him back?
Exactly. Yeah, mess with him back. Like so he messes with your leg.
Or take the power away.
Yeah, what's something that we can mess with him about? You got a big belly? Just go and say, hey, look at your jelly belly.
Yeah.
Look at your big old fat jelly belly, you chungus.
Yeah.
And then it's even, and then you high five, and then you go play.
It's not that personality you don't want to go aggressive. You don't want to hurt the person's feelings.
It did help me in middle school, high school. Mostly middle school. It was rougher.
Middle school's the worst.
Well, in high school, I had already hammered out my path. I'm not trying to make this about me, but I'd already hammered out my path in middle school. Middle school was tough, man. Middle
school's the worst.
Kids go hard, and I would go right back at them. You come at me about being short, I come at you for whatever I can see. Whatever I see, everything's on the table. Your mom, your dad, how poor you are, everything's on the table.
But that's what
everything's on the table.
Do your career right now.
I mean, I would do reconnaissance. I'd sit in the bus loop and wait to see your mom and dad's SE van come by, and I'd be, oh, buddy, look at that old Tropic Traveler van. The thing is smoking out the back. Oh, I'd be like, God damn, your parents got some poor ass cars.
See, that's where I'm like,
He's just not that guy. He's not that guy.
Because
is this the same kid that put rocks in his lunchbox?
I believe so.
F this kid. That's not his friend.
No, they're buddies.
No.
Yeah. He'll tell you.
He's manipulating Tommy to think he's his friend so he can have him stick around and make fun of him in front of all the other friends.
Let me ask you this. Did he come to the party?
No, the kids are too dumb.
Was he at the party?
I don't know, kids. I don't know if I'm. I don't know what the kids' names are.
They all look alike.
Yeah.
All pink on the inside.
Yeah, all the kids look the same. But to me, they're like, I meet the kids and they're like, oh, this is Tommy's friend. He's been his friend for 5 years. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea. I don't know one from the other. Anyway, but anyway, I think I'm just trying to have him take it different, because if he takes it as bullying, it may be more negative
but if he
takes it as messing with him.
If he's getting nothing out of this relationship other than this kid picking on him, then he probably shouldn't be friends with him.
Well, I tell him, but Tommy at this point he said it's fine. He's like, it's
that's the thing. That's how you are.
I try to tell him that the first.
Let me tell him some stuff.
I say like, you don't hang out with him, whatever. Like this, if you don't, if he's saying this, tell him like, hey, I'm not gonna hang out with you. I'm telling him stuff adults that would, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
tell him to say, if you mention my name one more time, I'm going to slap my name out of your mouth. And you walk over there and you go, you walk over to him and you go, look.
Keep my name
out
your mouth.
You go, you talk about my bird legs one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to show you what the bird does.
Keep my bird legs out your mother effing mouth.
I'm going to peck your eyeballs out.
Get him in karate.
You do. You got to get him in something. Get him a gun.
You can build those legs up.
I should have said that. Why would I say that?
That's genetic. His bird legs.
Yeah, I know. Why would I say that?
I got
defense mechanism.
He has my
It's
bird
genetic.
legs.
Yeah, it's genetic.
He will always have bird legs.
I was bullied so incessantly for being short. I mean, every day was a bully fest. Every single day.
Yeah, but that was in the 70s where there's no rules.
God damn.
There's 4 years in the 70s. I was 4 years old in 1980.
I'm just saying, it was a different
We
time.
all got bullied, right?
No, y'all got some.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High or
both of you
something.
guys got some snowflake bullying. I got the real deal 1980s right up my
I got
head.
made fun of, but I never got beat up.
I got beat up, pushed down. Broken my nose. But they put me in a barrel at the top of a hill and rolled me down a grass hill in a metal barrel. And I rolled out the side.
Yeah, I never got it that bad.
Yeah, I got stuffed into a trash can. I got stuffed into a locker. You know what they did? They put me inside the largest bass drum in the band room and tightened the drum heads to the point where I had to kick my way out.
I shouldn't.
It's a thing.
Well, it hasn't got that bad for Tommy yet, but you better nip that in the bud.
Well,
what'd you tell him to do?
If he's chill about it, what does it matter?
He don't care.
But why did you bring it up?
I don't know.
So it is bothering him.
At night, I go and lay down in their bed, and then it's the only time they'll talk to me.
Got anything you need to tell me?
They just want to stay up late. So,
Right.
like in normal throughout the day,
final thoughts.
I'll ask them stuff like,
You guys heard about Deshaun Watson?
They don't want to talk to me
God.
about.
I got a theory on it.
Don't care.
They don't want to talk to me throughout the day because they're too busy with all this
Playing
stuff.
games, yeah.
they don't care. But at
Now
night,
they're winding down. They're talking to daddy.
Oh, here's a good one.
So I'll talk to them, and then they'll bring up whatever just to keep it going.
I love bully stories. Just Jen, because we're sharing them. I told you about me being rolled down a hill in a metal trash barrel. Just Jen says, 2 dumb idiot brothers would rub mushrooms in my hair, and they said my mom had AIDS. That's a great one. You know what? You get a prize.
I should have left.
Email me. You get a prize. No, that's funny. That's a good. Those guys, they were good. Those are mushrooms. That's an advanced move because they kind of smush and crinkle. They kind of crumble.
We should do the best bullying story awards.
People get mad when we do it because they're like, "You're supporting bullying." It's like, no,
we're just laughing at it.
I mean, I got
really
pushed
funny.
over. I had a kid break my ribs just I'm laying on the ground. He's kicking my ribs. The barrel thing, I'm trying to think of the worst one. I had to fight another kid at a key club party, and then he fell in a fire, and then they called my mom and said I was drinking.
It's only funny if it's happening to other people or someone else's kids. Because if it was happening to Tommy or Max,
It is happening to Tommy.
I'd be but not to the effect of
progresses.
like.
I think
it's a little. It's kids messing with each other.
Okay, I have a theory.
Teasing.
I have a theory.
Kids are
here.
a-holes.
Teasing is fine.
Kids are a-holes, but I think girls are harsher bullies than boys. Boy
It's like
bullying,
psychological stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, boy bullying to me is very
Put a
pedestrian.
booger on your
Wet willy.
on your
It's
book
very
bag.
dumb. It's very low-hanging fruit. Yeah, wet willy, booger on the
It's
book bag.
caveman bullying.
It is,
Yeah,
but women,
so dumb.
it's calculated, it's precise.
Manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally laser strikes, and it hurts.
Oh yeah. I feel like women bullies can get you to kill yourself and have. You know what I'm saying?
That's
more
scary.
than men.
My God.
Or boy bullies, right? But anyway.
I would like to think that there is no woman powerful enough to get me to kill myself. I'd like to think that, but I don't know, man. If you get it, I gotta.
There's some manipulative people.
Yeah,
out
man,
there.
you're emotional.
I'm an emotional guy. I might be. She is right. It is my fault, and the world would be better without me. I could go there.
But then again, like I said, it's why you're so quick-witted today. So you could make an argument that the bullying was probably the best thing career-wise that ever happened to you, right?
Yeah.
Would you be as quick-witted without the bullying?
No, I wouldn't be.
Or did you
Well, we don't know because
You're right.
That is I hate that argument because it's like, well, people always say, oh, all the trauma and the crap you went through growing up, it makes you who you are. It's like, we don't know that. I could have had a lot less trauma and still been the same person and not have to pay for therapy.
Or you could have been better. Like,
I could have been better.
No one ever thinks about that. Like, everybody's
if
like,
I had money and I had a loving family, I could have been way better.
Yeah.
I think I needed more bullying. If I'd had more bullying, I'd be better at what I do now. I didn't get enough. I didn't get sufficient bullying.
Or could you have been better? Without the bullying.
I think people like to try and justify the bad stuff they went through by saying that it did make them who they are today. And it's like, well, maybe you could have been a better person.
We talk about that all the time. We talk about grit, but what we've learned is I almost think that's rando. I almost think grit is we talk about it.
Well, there's
you
grit.
learned it, and I'm like, I don't think so.
I have siblings, and they're not. They went through the same quote grit that I went through.
You either turn out to be less
Stroud. Turn out the same.
Like honestly, same amount of grit,
not as motivated,
same amount of grit, and you could either be Les Stroud or Andy Dick.
But they're just as tough, though. They may be more tough because
Sam's tougher. I would say.
Well,
I don't know
siblings.
them, but I don't know them at all. But I know Sam is very tough. But she works very hard to dig herself out of trauma.
Yeah. But then there's the whole argument of like, well, how tough do you really need to be in this society?
Yeah.
Right.
We're not
mentally. I think you have to be extremely tough.
Genghis Khan's army, where you need to be ultimate tough to survive. It's like, well, you need to get a job and pay your taxes. And,
you were never bullied.
Yeah.
But you know what? You know what's great about but you don't stand out.
Look at that girl with her shirt off.
Oh yeah.
That's bullying.
But he tried to weave his way into the background. That's always been your MO,
Lay
right?
low, yeah.
You always try to
lay low.
Just kind of slide into the cut. And Tommy,
I pretend like I didn't hear the bullying, even though like
isn't that kind of
like somebody look at that girl.
Hey.
Yeah.
And then what is
that girl got boy clothes? And then I knew they were talking to me.
Yeah.
They used to say that about me too.
But I just pretend.
We got bullied the same.
There was a point where both of you guys looked exactly the same.
Because if I acknowledged it, is embarrassing. But if I pretend like I didn't hear it or just whatever, then
sure. Don't give them the power.
I was the exact opposite. It was like I got bullied, and then eventually I got to a point where I realized that the easiest way to stop the bullying was when the person would bully you, and then you immediately go, "You want to go? You want some of this? Let's do it right now. Fine. You messed up. You stepped in it. I'm the last person you wanted." Like, it's that sort of thing.
I would go crazy.
I would go a little crazy, and it would set people. It would put them on tilt.
But isn't bullying all about how you take it? Right, so the bullying, the act is really, I feel like the power is more towards the person being bullied. The power is
always in the reaction. Yes.
Yeah, so it's like if you took it as if the person's just messing with you or teasing you or effing with you as to be funny, or just if you didn't put any power into it, like that's why I never put any power into it, like. I
think that's what Tommy's doing, right?
Like, besides from violent, like I remember some kid slapped my face one time, but it was
oh my god,
it was technically.
What did you do, Chris Rock?
I was bullying his cousin and he was in a gang.
In a gang? Why are you bullying somebody in a gang?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he said my cousin's at a gang. He's gonna beat you up, and I was like, yeah, right. I pushed him.
Yeah, right.
And then the cousin was apparently in some.
I don't know. Gang members don't slap people.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find Tom Van. I'm in MS-13, man.
This is a middle school, so I don't even know. What I have no idea. But it was Miami, so. And then I go back and look at the end of the year video or whatever, and it's straight up Tijuana, the Southwest or Glades Middle School in Miami, Tijuana, Mexico. Anyway, but so I always took it, at least the non-slapping and stuff, because that's just you can't really take a slap to the face as anything other than someone.
Oh, it's ultimate
slapping your face.
Oh, it's so bad. I'd rather be punched.
But the messing with you're making fun of me or whatever, I always took it as they're just effing around. They're just joking around or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
there was
I never took it as an attack.
I think Sam was sort of saying this, and I think some of the people in the chat room are saying this. There was a line though that did you guys have the friend that was a bully, but he would just kind of mess with you? The play too hard guy? We had a guy. Yeah. His name was Tyler. I won't say his last name. But he would play too hard, and it would get to a point where we all liked him, and you liked to be around him because he was funny, and he could be nice. but he was also the play too hard guy. And if he had a mean streak, and if he got aggravated or something, he'd start weighing in hard on you, and you would have to put him back in check. Like he was. I don't know if that's a bully.
I didn't hang out with people like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're
I think
not
it's a
bringing
guy
anything
thing.
into my life that's positive, I'm not hanging out.
I think
with
that's
you.
a guy thing, though.
Like, I remember and this could be taken as bullying, but it wasn't. Okay, the Wizard like when we met each other in middle school and stuff.
He's what I'm describing.
He one time he took a roach. He found a dead roach and he put it into my license, like where you're like the clear part of your license
the
is.
plastic window.
He put it in the plastic window like a dead roach. And
that's a good move.
That's stuff like your brothers do, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like,
but that could be told by a
Yes.
different person as this guy bullied me, put roaches in them all, and people are like, oh my God. But
Roaches in your wallet?
But I remember I opened it up to pay for my pizza at lunch.
yeah.
and
Where's the line though between
sometimes I
messing
was
around with people or actually bullying, like pubes on a Coke can? You know what I mean? There's a
my
line
friends would urinate
somewhere.
on me.
That's too far.
in
well,
my,
pubes on a Coke can is fine.
We put
Supreme Court, they're good. They know what they're doing.
we put doo doo.
That's a lot of things
each
guys
other's rooms.
like to claim when they do this creepy stuff to women. Oh, I was just joking.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to take a joke.
Yeah, you don't know the
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
We got to draw a line somewhere,
Yeah.
guys.
It's
What's the punchline to pube on a Coke?
I never got. Did he made? There was no.
He never
actual
did it.
pube.
No, he made.
He just said it must
was
be
a
pube.
reference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny that was a big deal. Like times have changed. Like that seems like a 2
Yeah.
on the
It
today
really
scale.
does. It really does.
Like a
It
pube
makes me
joke?
like you. I'm like, oh, okay, he knows about
Well,
pubes. Okay, he's open.
Someone in the chat said they got jumped by a kid that had one short arm. It was a lose-lose.
Oh no, you got to beat him to death. I mean, you got to
Oh,
go
well,
hard.
hold on.
It doesn't matter what they're doing. You got to one arm, no arm, whatever. You got to defend yourself.
Well, yeah, but once it switches over to violence, then now that's a different story.
That was going to
It's
be
like,
my idea. Is personal space. If you're touching me, now we gotta. It's a little different. If you put a whoopee cushion in my chair, if you put a a kick me sign on the back of my, whatever.
Yeah.
Just don't be touching on me. Don't be mashing on me or hitting me or something.
All like humans are the same in the fact it's like prison, right? It's like they tell you in prison you got to stand up for yourself or like don't let yourself be the
Right, the
weakest.
target,
because,
yeah.
we're all animals, right? So we target the weakest animal, right? It's like so in school something like if someone is perceived as not going to stand up for themselves or be weak, like other like males primarily or whatever. Females will do it too, I guess, to a certain extent, but they'll target that person because they foresee them as not
Weakest
being a
link.
threat.
Yeah, we got to
and
get him
being
out of
weak.
our tribe.
Or just mess with this guy,
Yeah, if I mess with him, nobody will mess with me.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a weird psychology about it too.
Yeah. It's although I gotta think that it happens a little less than it used to. Like
You guys will find out.
and
You got
then,
kids. It looks like it's already starting with Tommy.
Yeah,
'cause
May.
there's a narrative that people shouldn't bully that I think that is being instilled. Like they have a whole anti-bully day at
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
And
but then you have parents that are very much F your feelings parents. You know what I'm saying?
I've
And
seen those stickers. Yeah.
Teach that to their kids, and then they go to school and they're going to start bullying your kids.
yeah, well, usually the bullies are damaged kids that their parents don't even pay attention to, and then they're like acting out
Did
in
you
some
see that
way,
video
and,
of that little boy that went up to that house with a whip?
I did not
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
video.
Banging on the door?
That video.
They learned that somewhere.
That video shook me. How
disturbing.
confident that kid was with his little riding crop, and he's
Until
whacking
Mom
on the
came
door.
out.
Yeah, get your ass. I was like, I support everything she's
Exactly.
saying.
that kid.
Then the dad pulled a gun out on the other dad.
Well, he fired
Crazy.
it. He almost shot his daughter.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, that guy went to
So
jail. That
what
guy,
a-
Good.
That guy it probably ruined his job and
Good.
for the next couple of years his life because he was a moron.
Also, that kid, I mean, nothing against autistic kids. I don't think they do this, but that seemed like a weird autistic behavior, right? Not a.
First thing I thought
It
of
seemed
was
like an entitled kid to me.
like this kid's racist. I was like, sure, it seems like autistic to me, right? Like,
there's a little bit of a mental issue and then a little bit of like, are you what are you
Something's wrong with
telling
him.
this child? My God.
bye-bye.
We gotta take a break.
Yeah, bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. I would like to encourage you to go check out our YouTube page. Just go to the old YouTube and search Tom and Dan Live. All of our shows are uploaded on there, and you can watch our live stream Monday through Friday. Starts right around 10:30 a.m. on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. If you've never seen Twitch, pretty cool video and streaming platform that you might really, really like. Check out those hot tub ladies.
Also, we're doing a live podcast May 28th at the Hurricane Party. Starts at noon.
Yes.
Tickets are on sale at tomanddan.com. But you also have to have a ticket to the Hurricane Party too. But you'll see that tomanddan.com. And we just confirmed Jolly is going to come out.
We did.
Oh, yeah. A little David Jolly action.
So Jolly, it'll
holly
be a
jolly
crazy.
day.
Yeah. Now, should we record it or should this
You know
just be
what?
for the live audience?
I will record it, and what we do with it
Okay.
will blow your mind. Yeah, we'll record it just so we have it, because you never know. Something happens. One of us could get a new variant, and we need like a couple days, and we're just like, hey, here's a show.
Yeah.
So it's nice to save that kind of stuff for posterity.
What should we do first?
Let's do some emails. Sam,
Okay.
load up the old email machine, which is basically you, and I'll load up the voicemail machine, which is basically me.
Burning hands. Hey, Tom. I am also sending this to Show and Sam since I know you don't read your email,
there
and
it
I
is.
want you to get the message one way or
Do
another.
a shot.
Shot. He is now reading emails because we need sponsors. So if you want to sponsor A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan,
Yeah.
Tom at Tom and Dan.
Hit him up. If you want to be a millionaire, hit up
I
Tom.
read
Right.
every email, even about this.
He doesn't reply to every email. That's true. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
reply to
He'll
every
read
email.
it.
Yeah.
That is true. He reads most things, even if I'm like, hey,
He'll
did you
open it.
I'm like, do you see that thing from the guy? And you're like, oh yeah,
But
I
he's
saw
not
it.
reading this one because it's long.
I'm like, why didn't you reply to him? You're like, I'll get to it. It's on my list.
I suffer from severe carpal tunnel, and it seems you do as well. I wanted to give you some tips and maybe save you some grief with the doctor.
Tips and tricks and Easter eggs for carpal tunnel.
My suffering started slow, but last year it got to a point where I couldn't stand it. My hands and arms would be on fire all day, and I couldn't sleep all night. I was at the end of my rope almost. I finally bit the bullet and went to the neurologist. Had the EMG test, which effing sucks.
That's
and,
what I had.
And made my hands and arms significantly worse for like 2 weeks.
No, but I didn't have. That's what I had. That everybody called me a liar.
The weekend after I had the test, I couldn't even hold an effing White Claw. My hands were a shaky mess.
So maybe you should step away from the White Claw.
And I didn't even learn anything from it. The doctor was just like, go see another specialist. You need surgery. He also prescribed me some braces to wear at night that I found out later only made my hands worse due to the metal splint pressing against my wrist. This took months and multiple appointments just for him to pawn me off on another doctor. So I decided to see what I could do on my own. I have found a good amount of relief without surgery from these things. So one is Nerve Glide stretches.
Nerve Glide. I've used that. You can get it at Fairvilla.
A C-Track machine. And then he also sent us a link to some stupid braces that you wear at night. You need ones that go over the top of the wrist, not the bottom. And then a Theragun. He Theraguns his arms and hands.
You got a Theragun.
This was a slog, but I'm pretty decent now with my hands. They act up every now and then, especially if I go multiple days without using the C-Track or wearing my braces, but these things have provided a ton of relief for me without any more doctors. I'll probably need the surgery one day, but not today, damn it. Good luck, and I know it sucks.
All right.
Well, there you go. You need
know-
to get a Nerve
I
Glide.
sent you links to all those things.
Yes,
He
Yeah.
won't use them. He doesn't reply to emails. We
no,
just covered that.
I read this email and I appreciate this gentleman wanting to help. The problem is all the things you suggested. That means I have to do some
Yeah,
sort of
Tom's
regimen.
too lazy to do any of that.
Yeah. And
Just get the surgery, man.
I got to get the nerve test first, and then that's they won't do the surgery without
test,
proving that you have it. Apparently, they were doing surgeries without doing this nerve test, and then people didn't have carpal tunnel or even need the surgery.
Yeah, but do they
They're
come
like,
back
"Oh."
better, like baseball players that get a Tommy John surgery or whatever, like where you come back and you're like a robot now?
I looked it up. All they do is they cut some band in your wrist. The carpal tunnel.
That's
is,
the Gene Simmons, like where he
It's a-
cut his tongue to make it longer, right?
It's squeezing the nerves in your wrist. So once they relieve the pressure, that's all it is. It's like
God, I bet that's gonna feel so good when you get that thing cut. Just
I know. I just want to be because it's not that bad if I don't do anything like with my hands, right? Like something excessive, like work all day or dig
Yeah.
or like you do some vibration thing, ride a motorcycle, all that stuff.
yeah,
Like if I-
jackhammer.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, if I did jackhammer, I might. I mean, it would be so excruciating.
BMX bike.
Yeah. BMX bike less. It's just the vibration causes the swelling, and that causes the fire.
How about an orbital saw? or like an orbital
yeah.
sander.
Any even a pressure washer, but because of the length of time, the vibration from the pressure washer over, like, if I pressure wash for 2 hours straight or something, it'll cause my hands to burn.
And there's nothing you can do, right? They just hurt.
Until the swelling goes down. I take Advil and stuff. But anyway, so the doctor was like, once you cut the bands, relieve the pressure, then that's it. And the problem is with surgery.
I could do it, I think. Where's the bands?
They're right here.
I think I could cut your bands.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem that difficult.
I edit video and I'm real precise.
Yeah,
I edit audio extremely
you.
precise.
I'll
I
trust
think
you.
I could cut your bands.
And we could do it, I mean.
Live on the show.
This is going to be more than $5,000 to get this done.
I could do it for $2,000, I feel like.
Well, hold on. I want less than that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to I got to order a coat.
Okay,
with my name on it.
Yeah.
I mean, first thing, I got to have a doctor's coat with my name on it. I got to have some tools. I got to have a scalpel.
We need to sterilize some room.
Yeah, we could sterilize the bathroom here.
Yeah.
Oof.
Busdecker, there's still a couple coat hangers in there that belong to John Busdecker, and if he doesn't come get them, I'm going to throw them in the street.
All we need
Why
is
does he have coat hangers here?
Because he changes his clothes here when he was in between jobs, when he was trying to decide whether or not he wanted to be a cop or not. He left a couple coat hangers in there.
we just need one Corona fogger because there's a lot of those.
Corona fogger. I see those on every sports like franchise.
Remember, I'll fog your business every day.
Every person.
Every day.
You know, there was a minute where I knew there was a minute during the peak of COVID where I knew 75 different individuals. I knew them that started fogging businesses.
Corona fogger.
Everybody had a fogging business. I'll fog your car. I'll fog your book bag.
I wonder,
what do you need fogged? I'll fog your pantry.
Can you get a lot of cheap Corona foggers right now? Because people are selling them off. Look up Corona fogger on
Corona
Facebook Marketplace.
Disinfectant fogger, $1. You'll see it usually a hot girl holding it.
Excuse me, they're called electrostatic sprayers.
Oh.
Whoa.
Like you can get one.
Yeah, how much for electrostatic
used one.
sprayer?
Yeah.
Let's start a
Corona fogger?
Corona fogger scam business. Let's start, Sam. Mm-hmm. Tom's talking about clients. We need new clients. We lost some clients. We need some new clients. No. You're going about it the wrong way.
We do the business.
Yeah, we'll do a. Oh God, he's out.
They're
The
coming.
fogger. He's got a fogger.
It's fogging us
The
good.
fogger's out here.
Yeah.
I didn't mean fog up the front of the studio.
We'll come to your house or business and we'll Corona fog whatever you need. Yeah. Your car.
Yeah. What do you need fogged?
Yeah.
Your bassinet.
What do you charge for that?
I can get you one for a Ryobi for $30.
30?
$30?
No,
Amazon.
we got to spend a little more than that. Ryobi, is that the green one? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's trash.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all trash. If it's,
Ryobi Corona
look,
fogger?
Yeah.
either give me Milwaukee or DeWalt, or I'm not buying it.
Tool only.
Ryobi,
Battery and charge are not included.
I'll tell you right now, Ryobi is for guys that want to be. You want a DeWalt D. You want a DeWalt D, but you got a tiny little green Ryobi D.
That's
you
the
want
cheapest one you can get.
You want a Milwaukee.
You want one of the professional guys?
big, thick Milwaukee.
You want a big Milwaukee.
You get $650 for a professional handheld cordless electrostatic sprayer from Sanitizers Plus.
Sanitizers Plus. I didn't even know there was a place called that.
Oh, yeah. It became a huge sanitizer. Well, first it was the hand sanitizer. Like,
Yes.
like I'll sell you a case of hand sanitizer.
We'll turn our vodka into hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember that. God, that was when I was like, oh my
It's all
God, the
happening.
world is in. I was really scared. I can tell you guys
You
now.
said,
I was,
you said you weren't
I
scared.
wasn't.
Um,
I wasn't. I still don't take it seriously now.
let's do a email.
Another email?
We
Okay.
just did one. Let's do a voicemail.
I can keep going.
Making Sam do all the work.
I don't know.
Here, you'll like this one, I think.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen. Am I the only one that every time Tom says nowadays, I think of Eminem? Like he's like, nowadays everybody wants to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out with them. It's just a bunch of gibberish. Everybody does that. I forgot about Dre.
That's a great voicemail.
I never thought about that, but
No.
now I'll hear it every time.
Yeah, nowadays. Sorry, buddy. I didn't. Let's try this one.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sammy Sam. It's Canadian Josh.
Oh, Sammy
Wanted
Sam.
to ask you guys a question.
Hold on a second. Don't ever call her Sammy Sam.
That felt disrespectful.
Yeah, it was disrespectful. Back to the.
Hello, Tom, Dan, and Sammy Sam. It's Canadian Josh. Wanted to ask you guys a question. I'm not sure where I stand on it, so I'll see what you guys think. When it comes to bicyclists, I know they all have to, they're supposed to anyway, stay on like kind of the side of the road with traffic.
They don't.
They have to stick to bike paths and
They
that.
don't.
And you do get the odd dickhead bicyclist who rides on the sidewalk.
Yep.
But little kids, like less than 8, riding their bikes on the sidewalk. Do we give them a pass on
Yes.
that? I'll hang up and listen.
100%
Love you
you
guys,
do.
BDM for life.
Yep.
Of course, Josh. What are you, an animal?
What are you, the worst person in the world?
Like
No, it's the law.
I think he wanted
I'd be
us
mad
to...
if an 8-year-old was riding in the street. I'd be like, go to the sidewalk. What are you doing? This is all crazy
Yes,
dangerous.
That is the correct answer. This is further proof.
I don't
that
even like people riding in the street.
But
Adults.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm fine with
Josh
them riding
is
on the sidewalk.
secretly the worst person in the world because he gives us these little
Yeah.
context clues of like him
He
being
comes
a
on. He
real
tries to
D-head.
pretend like he's some nice Canadian, but
Yeah, I think he's evil
there's the
Canadian
shade with the
Josh.
Sammy Sam. He wants us to put 8-year-olds out in the streets.
Yeah, you give grannies, you give almost anybody, especially in Orlando. It is such a dangerous place to ride bikes. Trust me, I'm a cyclist, and it's just not fun to ride on the roads here because people don't care.
If I rode a bike, I would ride it on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to, but I pass many bicyclists looking at my phone and whoa, almost nailed that guy. You know, like,
And he's
I bet
and
you
he's
a million
emailing me.
people. Like so many people
He'll
are
write
so
that
close
in
to
his
dying.
email. He'll be like, "Hey, can you have Sam send these invoices? Oh, almost missed a bike rider while I was texting this to you."
I'm not proud of it. I'm just telling the truth.
Look, we're honest if we're anything. I ride on the sidewalk all the way to the bike path, and then when I'm on the bike path, I ride that. But I don't ride on the roads here in Baldwin because people don't stop at stop signs.
No.
Now, if they start stopping at stop signs, I'll ride in the flow of traffic. But until they start doing what they're supposed to do, I'm going to be safe and ride on the sidewalk.
But also, no one's paying attention. Everyone's looking at their phone. Like,
Well,
you are.
there's
You
a
got some
second part of
balls.
that. Let me help out auto owners, too, before they start screaming at their radio about how much they hate cyclists, because I do ride my bike all the time. Cyclists are just as bad.
Yeah.
People in this city that are supposed to, like, if you're riding a bike,
They
you're
run stop signs too.
They do, and you're not supposed to do that. You're also not supposed to ride side by side. You're supposed to ride in a line, but
Yeah.
they don't do that. They don't do any of the things that they're supposed to do. Now, am I generalizing? Yes, I'm throwing a blanket over
Sure.
everybody.
But
I
you see it a lot.
Yeah, I think cyclists are just as bad as cars that are not respectful. There is a
Nobody
mutual
cares
lack
about
of respect.
nobody
Yeah.
cares about anything on the streets.
You're right.
It's insane.
You're right. Cars
That's
don't
why I
care
hate
about
driving
bikes,
now.
and bikes don't care about cars, and
Yeah.
it drives me crazy. Don't even get me started
I
on
would
motorcycles.
only do like off-road bike trails if I ever did like cycling. I would never ride a bike on the road.
No.
In Orlando.
I wouldn't either. I don't. I ride sidewalks.
It's too damn dangerous.
It definitely seems dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, every time I see a cyclist, especially if there's no bike lane and they're just like to the
And we
right
know
or
a
whatever.
guy that used to podcast in Orlando that got killed by riding his bike to work.
Yep.
and
Like
it's
a
just
year ago.
Very
Because,
sad.
because even if the people, like 99% of the people, like they want to have, like be safe, right? As like they don't want to be egregious with like looking at their cell phone or whatever. But all it takes is like, you know, you spill your coffee on your pants and when you look down for a second,
and
or
that's
like
it.
you get a phone call, you're looking at your GPS because you're lost. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And you swerve over
You're
and
trying to change a song on Spotify, yeah.
and you just clip someone, and you don't even have to, run them over.
No.
You just clip them on the side, and you can kill them easily.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, like for that tiny, minute mistake, and for someone to lose their life, that seems like that for sure could happen. Like and believe me, I am not paranoid or or not very careful at all with anything. That seems like. That for sure, you'll get clipped, at least severely hurt.
And we all know, we've all had that happen. When I used to drive in early at the radio station, when I was working on the morning show, I'd have to get up really early. And I'd be coming in, and I'd be going down a road here in Orlando called Princeton, which is in alignment with almost every massive medical facility we have. There's a ton of hospitals, a ton of special surgery centers, a pediatric ward. I mean, it's like Hospital Row. So I'm coming up Princeton, and it's really early. It's like, I want to say it's like 4 a.m., 4:30, something like that.
So still dark outside.
Yeah, definitely still dark outside. And I'm coming along, and I was just going and touching the touchscreen in my car to change the channel to something on satellite radio or something. And I swerved to the right just a little bit, and I kid you not, because I had my sunroof open, I could hear it. My mirror hit the what appeared to be like a gown that I can only assume was a mental patient, was walking on the side of the road like they'd
No.
escaped or they had been
Just
let out.
wandered out,
They had
yeah.
been let out and
Smoke a cigarette.
You know, sometimes people like will go out there in a hospital gown. Maybe they'll be on a run for it. This person was in a hospital gown with like a draped over like kind of like a sheet or something, and my mirror whacked the cloth, and I realized in that moment that if I'd been like a millimeter closer to that person, I would have hit them with my mirror, and who knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
I had to pull over at the 7-Eleven at the end of Princeton and regain my composure. It was like, my God, you almost killed somebody just changing the radio.
Yeah.
It's nuts. That's how easy it can happen.
You know, and it just, like, my buddy who's a firefighter was telling me that, and he is not cautious or paranoid at all. Like, I told him I got a tetanus shot. He's like, you don't need it. You didn't need that. And he was like, but he's like, I don't let my kids ride their bikes in my neighborhood like we used to do when we were, just because he's a firefighter. He's like, I've seen so many hit and runs. He's like, people have a total disregard for human life. And he's like, people will hit you and leave you to die on the street. I've seen it. I've responded to it multiple times. Now,
That's cold.
His perception may be skewed because of what he sees every
he's
day
in
as a
it.
firefighter.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a lawyer saying, like, you're gonna get sued because that's all you see.
You'll definitely get a divorce.
Yeah. So, but he knows that how bad people are driving, and like this will rectify itself once we become a driverless society. Like our kids.
It'll get
maybe
worse for a little bit, though, because the robots work it out.
Yeah, they're gonna be hitting everything for a while.
No,
Like the first
robots are
year-
good. They're better than humans.
For the first year, though, I feel like it's going to be a lot of little robot accidents until we fine-tune it.
but not as much as humans.
No,
Like
I agree.
they're way better than humans. So
Yeah, but then humans will find a way to hack them, and then they'll start making cars crash on purpose. You underestimate how bad people are.
no, they're not gonna hack. I mean, that'll happen one time, and everybody will freak out about it.
I got motorcycle itis right now. About once a year, I go through a phase where I want a motorcycle so bad.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
have my little scooter from Seminole Power Sports, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. It serves its purpose for that need, but there's a part of me that wants to go full motorcycle. I want a big
Boss hoss.
boy I want a stereo. I want a windshield, a big dresser. Tiny Danny on a big, ginormous electric glide.
Listen, I support it.
Speakers,
The
MP3 player.
I'd drive a motorcycle to work or a scooter.
You
or
got the
something.
perfect route. One street.
Yeah, I mean, just go down Lakemont. The only thing that it stops me is just the thought of going back to the randomness. And now, maybe this is more rare than I think, and maybe I should take my own advice and look at the statistics and be like, all right, there's only a 5% chance of this happening, so let me just do it. But I just think about sitting there at a stoplight waiting to go, and then some teen behind me
On their phone,
and just rams into the back of me going 30 miles an hour
Yeah.
and either runs me over or I ricochet off
Yeah.
and even with a helmet,
Doesn't matter.
I am severely hurt and
Paralyzed,
hospitalized,
yeah.
paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
And it's just like, I could see that happening. I could see,
Yeah.
it happened to
Because you're
my
not the
stepdad's.
most, observant person of your surroundings either. So
No, it happened to Dan Stone on his motorcycle. He's downtown Orlando, and the person behind him didn't see him.
Yeah.
I don't know how that can happen when they're
I mean,
right in front of
we've
you.
all been rear-ended in a car,
yeah,
right?
I got rear-ended, 4
right.
weeks ago?
Imagine not being in a car.
That lady, man, if I'd have been on a motorcycle the way that Jeep hit my SUV, I don't know if there'd be much of me left. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't super hard, but it didn't take much when you're on the only bikes I've ever had are small bikes, like a Sportster. That's nothing.
Yeah. And I got too much to leave. I can't, and maybe
You're
when
right.
the kids grow up or whatever, and then I was like, I'm
I know.
56, and then kids are on their own. Wife's a bitch. I'll
All
just,
right.
who cares? Let them
Well, then it's worth the risk to get away from the bitch. You're like, I'll take the 5%.
I'm
This
just joking.
bitch.
I was like, I can't leave now. So, although it'd be fun, is it worth that? Because, that I could see definitely.
So to
for
answer
sure
your question,
happening.
Josh, I know that this went all over the place.
Yeah.
Yes, sidewalks are fine for anyone to ride their bicycle on. You are a heartless monster. Let's try. Oh, you got another email? Let's do one more.
Sure. This is another long one. Right to work. I have to dispel a misconception that I have heard many times on this show that a right to work means that you can be fired at any time. Anybody that has 2 brain cells to rub together can figure out that, quote, I have a right to work and that means that I can be fired at any time are 2 contradictory statements. Right to work laws are anti-union laws. What they mean, in no uncertain terms, is that you cannot be forced to join a union in order to get or keep a job. They are the reason that there are fewer unions in Florida than in non-right to work states. I worked at SeaWorld, Disney, and Universal. First, SeaWorld had 2 union jobs, brewmasters and Clydesdale keepers, but these jobs were filled out of the corporate headquarters, which at the time were in St. Louis.
Write down Clydesdale keepers because that is my old man job. That's what I want.
That's how the unions got around the law. Second, Disney has union jobs that are not listed in the company job site unless you know the, quote, secret code to enter. That code is given to you by the recruiter at the union hall. That's how they circumvent the law. I learned that when I got my Disney job through the Carpenters Mechanics Union. Lastly, my job at Universal Orlando was not union, but the same job at Universal Hollywood was union and paid way more, and as you have said, Florida is now the most expensive state. Anti-union or pro-union, you decide, but stop saying right to work means you can get fired at any time because it's complete BS and its face makes absolutely no sense.
Nope.
Then he sent a follow-up.
Gonna keep saying it.
It said, I knew I would forget something. What I left out from my last diatribe is that you either have a, quote, right to work or, quote, you can get me fired at any time. You cannot have both. He's right, but I don't know why.
He's right.
He's
to
talking
work.
about right to work state.
Right.
Yes, we're probably using the term.
We are. We did use
wrong.
it incorrectly.
But you can be fired at any time, except
Yes,
for.
but one doesn't have to do with the other.
Yes, yeah.
So in effect, what
But
we're
there's
saying-
some reason why we all use that terminology to mean that.
Somebody in the
Somehow
chat
it got
room,
mixed up.
We'll figure it out. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I would.
You
say,
know what we meant, but
Yeah,
yes, but
I
you
mean,
are correct.
I would say if you have to write an email to us to help us clarify something that really doesn't need to be clarified, that you have bigger problems. There's something else grinding on you.
You understand what we
Yeah.
meant by this.
Intent.
Yes, technically the exact verbiage of what we're saying is incorrect. Although a lot of people think, oh, you could be fired for anything except for obviously your age,
Religion,
or
race.
yeah, the protected, your disability, anything like that. You know, although what the common sense is, they're not going to put that on the reason they're firing you.
Of course not.
It's the same thing with a cop. Like,
Why'd you fire him? He was Chinese.
like the cop can't
Oops.
search your car without probable cause. Well, guess what? He can claim he smelled marijuana in your car.
So what we the right to work is correct with what he is saying, the anti-union thing. What we should be saying is Florida is an at-will state.
Oh yeah.
okay.
So that means they can basically fire,
Fire,
demote,
we
hire,
can shift.
promote.
At
We'll
will.
shift to
At will.
at will.
And
Yeah.
so it's an at-will state. That
Yeah.
means you could be fired for anything
There
except
you go.
for the protected, things that.
Right. Federally protected. Yeah.
Let's try this one right here.
Tom and Dan and Sam. Hey guys, it's Kenny. I think it's pretty rich that EJ is going to criticize Tom on the latest Nerd Jock about Spider-Man, saying, oh yeah, you just don't pay attention, you don't know the facts, and you say things wrong. When EJ gets things wrong all the time, and it's his own pre-prepped bit. Like, he started talking about, oh, I wonder if Tom Brady's going to be with Joe Buck on Fox. It was big news that Joe Buck is going to Monday Night Football with Troy Aikman, so he's not going to be on Fox. And it's not as if that, that was just a minor thing. That happened a while ago that he signed that deal to go to ESPN. So, EJ, get your facts right. I bite my tongue because I listen to you talk about sports, and you get so many facts wrong. And again, you prepare for this bit, and you get facts wrong. How is that possible? I haven't worked as a sports reporter in years, and I at least get facts right. All right. I love you guys. Bye.
Oh, there's a follow-up. Hold on. There's
Wow.
one more. There's a follow-up. I've never heard Kenny that mad. He is mad. Sounds like he's gunning for your bit, EJ.
Yeah. Oh,
Tom and Dan and Sam. Hey guys, it's Kenny. Follow up to my previous voicemail. Hey EJ, who the hell is Pat Hill? Orlando Magic coach Pat Hill? I don't know
There
who
it
the hell
is.
you're talking about. Do you mean Brian Hill? Because I thought you said you remembered him. And I'm only giving you crap because you gave Tom crap for getting facts wrong, and you're just botching it on the exact same segment.
Kenny's got your
All right,
back.
love you guys. Bye.
Kenny is ride or die for you, buddy.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want
true.
you to forget that.
it may be our fault for hiring a janitor to do the sports
Yeah,
news.
he is very Hong Kong Phooey. That's Scatman
yeah.
Crothers. He was a janitor. Remember, he turned into Hong Kong Phooey.
Like when you
That's
go,
probably a racist cartoon now, isn't it?
I don't even know that reference.
Can you say Hong Kong Phooey? Well, Hong Kong Phooey was a dog janitor who his superpower was when they needed him, he would spin around and turn into Hong Kong Phooey.
when you pick up the bum that has a sign that says "will work for food," and then his quality of work isn't that good, you only have yourself to blame.
If you bring him
what
to your
did you
house,
think was going to happen?
You hand him the paint, you give him a brush, and then you go and you go in your
paint
office,
your dog
and then you come back and you look at him, and he's taking a dump in your jacuzzi. That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah. You hired him.
Yeah, you brought him to your home. Now
Yeah.
he knows where you live. Now you have to kill him. Now you have to kill him.
Easy to kill. Okay.
Bums?
Yeah.
How would you know? You got something you want to tell us?
No, well, it's just they don't. They're
Somebody
unhealthy.
was on a sidewalk.
We got to get out of here? I was going to keep powering through.
It's time to take a break.
Bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So, Game Show Drew's here. How you doing, Drew?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Good to see you, man. Hold on, let me turn on your camera here so everybody in Twitch land can see you. Look nice today. You got another nice navy blue blazer, some khaki pants, a nice pair of fresh Hey Dudes on.
Now, every time that you're coming in, Drew, Sam tells us about some extra effort you're putting in or some huge
He's
skit that
overprepared
you want.
Drew.
Yeah. And then she's like, Drew's coming in with a box of surprises. He mailed us last week. We had to fill out some form.
He's the reason that Tom has the infamous creepy talons video where he's tapping his talons on the microphone. I also have a new open for Drew that was sent, I believe, months ago, a new trivia open. Should I start with that?
Yeah.
All right,
go.
here we go. His brand new open.
right.
This is going to already put Tom on severe notice, right? Here we go.
Oh, you a fool for this one. Like, oh my God, is that Game Show Drew over there? Mm-hmm. Oh man, here come them questions. Damn right, I got some questions. Count your freaking blessings, it's a trivia session. Now you gon' learn a lesson if you get them questions right. It's gon' make your night, there's a chance you get it wrong. Come on, roll them dice, yeah, we doing it for fun. Let's get that job done, put that hot dog in a bun. Here comes question one.
And then it just stops.
Yeah.
I like the
You
cold
don't
ending.
ride the beat that
I like
long.
the cold ending. You know what? I support that.
Couldn't figure out the fade.
I know you couldn't. I support it, though. I
The
say
hot dog in the bun. Here comes question one.
I love hot dog bun. Question one is magnifique.
Somehow, even though you wanted to do this and no one told you to, it sounds like you're rapping. You don't want to even be doing it.
Yeah.
Like the way
no
you're
attack.
inflection.
Sounds like someone has a gun to your back.
It's like someone has a gun. It's time for question one.
Yeah.
Or the chat room says, "I want a refund." It's time for question one.
Yeah.
A lot of haters in the chat room today. I apologize.
No, that's fine. It was horrible. But
It was pretty bad. But I support the cold ending because you used to do that.
I know. And see, that
I
tells
thought
me
it would be
that
steel
this is-
sharpened steel, I
Well-
thought you would admire this man, the old drunkie the bear, the drunkies, one man up. It would end with
Yeah.
and it would just end cold, and I hated it as a producer, but I love the fact that it bucked the system a little bit.
Yeah. See, and that is what kind of makes me like it, which makes me hate it because it meant
Because
that
you
you
hate that.
did it on purpose.
Yep, okay.
Because you were taking after,
You don't
your
even remember
mentor.
you were that drunkie the bear. You're taking after that guy in the suit, the thing. He was a big deal. Can't remember. All right, we got to get moving.
What?
We got other things happening, and if we don't get started, then we're going to miss out on all of the stuff that he's prepared. So, Drew, please, it is time for
The
question
hot
one.
dog is in the bun.
Yeah, we are bunned up.
Cool. Well, we always have a theme for the trivia. I always try to do something different. Today,
I don't think
Hold
you've
on,
done
Drew.
anything different. I think it's been the same thing.
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Why are you dressed like you're going to traffic court?
You really are.
Yeah, like
He looks like he's here for an interview.
Yeah,
You look like the manager of a vineyard vine.
I'm trying to make a business deal today.
Oh.
Today,
I will give you $10.
He's got a gun! With who? Me?
You? Yeah, the show. Yeah,
Okay.
with you
No,
guys.
don't
So,
make me a part of any of
you're a
this.
part of it.
No,
I've got some
no.
propositions for you,
All right.
and I want to see if you want to be business partners, kind of like Shark Tank, but it's not Shark Tank. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it Fish Tank because
No.
you have a fish tank.
You know what?
I put it up on cue. That's how
li-
good we are together, Drew.
I like all propositions because I like when someone propositions me.
Yeah.
Any sort of talk about propositions.
Yeah.
It's a
Proposition number whatever.
How can it be bad?
Yeah.
It's just a proposition.
All right, propos.
Cool. Well, that's gonna be in between questions. So first, I got to warm you up with some good trivia.
Okay, let's go. We gotta
right.
move.
Question number 1, category. That's a lot of dongers.
Okay.
On Monday's episode titled T&D Saturn Barbecue, you all discussed the electric Saturn car, the EV1. Feeling dumbfounded that an electric car existed back in 1996, what did Tom say it was powered by?
By 1996? Was it powered by Dan?
Yes.
Racism.
No.
No.
Tom,
Yes.
Kid Rock.
That's good. Oh, wait a minute. I already said racism.
AOL.
No! He said it ran on 800 Ds.
Oh,
the
that's good.
batteries.
That's funnier. Yeah, 800 Ds. And the clue was, that's a lot of dongers.
The clue, yeah, the clues. The answer's in the clue.
All right.
All right.
Who else does that? The answer's in the clue.
So we all got nothing.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Next.
Yeah. Question number 2. I think y'all are going to get the answer here. Category, Dan's wigging out. On Friday's episode titled Manufactured Hero, Tom called into question whether an untrained passenger really landed the plane when the captain became incapacitated. Tom said he could stage the same thing himself. What did Dan say he would do to help Tom stage an emergency?
Sam.
Dan.
He dressed up like the pregnant wife.
Dress up like the pregnant wife is correct. That's a
I
wonderful
will
one.
still do that. If anybody wants to help us recreate this fake landing of a plane by the man
Well,
who
she
had
wasn't even on there.
no errand. Well, we're going to do what the media
Right.
said. We're going to go with the original report was all these crazy things that never happened. I'm going to dress up like her. You're going to rub my belly, think of your daughter.
We are setting up a interview with an actual pilot.
Yeah, this week.
And a flight instructor. He's not just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pilot. He's an actual instructor.
All right. So Sam's got one, right?
She's got one. There's a
Yeah.
bonus
Yeah.
question here.
Oh, hold on a second. We got a fogger outside. He's fogging for COVID. We bought a COVID fogging business, disinfecting fogger business, and man, we have been fog crazy. It's so fun to do. It's just so fun.
The spray.
It does nothing.
Yeah, it's not. It's just
Yeah.
Halloween fog.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It's literally.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah.
This place, it did look pretty spooky
We got
outside.
ours at Spirit.
Should
Okay.
we just go for it?
Yeah, go for
No,
it.
yeah.
What did Tom and Dan say their first words would be if they were on a plane and the captain passed out?
God.
Proposition.
No.
Um,
You're on a plane, captain passed out. What are you going to say?
Tom, is it a curse word?
Sam.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now.
I like it.
I don't know.
You know what? You have to work on yourself, Dad joke. I like that.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what? Points for Sam. That's funny.
2013. So I don't know.
Answer, we're too high for this.
No, hold on. That's dad too. That's a dad joke.
Even the spin and how you're dressed is a dad joke. All right, next question.
Well, now we're on to the first business idea.
Proposition.
Let me
okay.
ask you guys, and ladies, before
Lady.
I get into this pitch, how much did you pay for your last haircut?
Oh, I think
You don't want to know.
Yeah. We go to a higher end
I-
place, Drew.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
cuts the stars.
Yeah.
Me and Daniel, some
We're
rock
about
stars.
Tom and I are about $85 a cut, and then with tip it's a 105 action.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
But we are premium stars.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
we are top tier. We're top shelf tequila, buddy.
Yeah. He cuts
You are like a great clips boy. You know, you're a
Great clips, boy.
yeah, you're like a.
I am actually.
You know what? Before we got here, we called you Haircuttery Drew.
No,
what
they're
we
not
called
too
you.
expensive. I go Great Clips.
You're a great clips guy.
Yeah.
Oh, before we answer this, can we talk about the Island Boys for a second?
No,
Because
they're-
now
they're
I'm back.
funny.
I'm back
They're
to no. Well, now there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
and
There's more Island
Boys?
They just keep adding them. At first, I thought they were trolling, but then I
No.
think it's too dumb to
They've
troll.
got new Island Boys, new characters.
Yeah, but they
It's like season 2.
And what kind of pants are they wearing?
I don't know.
They're wearing the skinniest long shorts.
The first video that pops up says the island boys are multiplying.
Yeah, there's
Oh, no.
multiple. There's like 9 island boys.
But the other ones are dumber than they are somehow.
And crazier tattoos.
No, they barely even have tattoos.
No. The one with the orange hair now has all face tattoos, and he's like their new leader with the sunglasses.
No, he's out. I watched a new video. Now it's like some boring other guys, and now they're doing foot races in some Miami backyard, like dodo kids.
I'm running like an island boy.
In the tiniest size, I don't even know, 15 men's long
Now they
capri.
look like the old school crows at the end of Jungle Book.
Oh, magpies.
Where they have the black hair,
they're so dumb.
long beak.
All right, we got to keep
Yeah,
going.
sorry,
All right.
Joe.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
What was this?
This is
How
my
much
this,
for your haircuts?
Yeah.
Oh, business idea.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
my
yeah.
fish tank idea for you.
So let's say $40.
Yeah.
$40? Okay. Are you tired of paying too much for a haircut? Would you like a professional trim for a fraction of the cost? Introducing Tuttle's Budget Cuts. Nestled in the heart of the Hobo Fish Camp, Tuttle's Budget Cuts offer style and value. For $5, not only will you receive a haircut you'll never forget, but Tuttle will also serve you lunch. Choose between your choice of a bone-in catfish sandwich or local favorite, Tuttle Pie Surprise. Yum.
Come on down. Wait,
to my mouth.
What are you doing?
Stop.
You're nervously reading a manifesto.
Drew, you gotta stop. You look like you're sweating. You're shaking. There's sweat coming
Why
down
are
your
you
brow.
so
You know
nervous?
you look like the Bud Dwyer. You remember the Bud Dwyer
Yeah,
video?
he's like, hold.
He's like, hold on. He tells everybody to get back, and then he reaches in the manila envelope and he pulls out a gun. He blows his brains out. That's what it looks like you're about to do. So you gotta stop. You gotta change your body language.
Okay.
You're too nervous.
You're too nervous.
I'm sorry.
I'm so awkward
Yeah,
for
you're
you.
freaking out.
I wanted to crawl under my desk.
God.
I was gonna leave.
Yeah,
I almost threw up.
I've never seen the back of your knees is straight sweating like crazy. I've never seen the back of your knees is like a jumbo armpit. There's so much
I
sweat.
ran to get here.
How can you be so nervous? Oh
my God.
Like when you wrote this
Your
whole
skin
bit,
is crying.
you wrote it's you didn't have
It's
to
too
do
much,
that,
man.
and you will say.
Just let's get back to the questions.
I didn't mean, it would be like if I said during your trivia segment, you have to write this long bit in the middle and present it to us.
pull your pants out.
And then I can understand you're like, well, I didn't want to do that, so I have to do this, and I'm reading it nervously, but this is something you wanted.
Yeah, and we have to keep moving. All right. Drew.
Did the squishy noise come out when I said Tuttle Pie?
Yeah, that's why I almost threw up.
That's why
Hell yeah.
Tom was like out. Like he was like
I couldn't keep it together.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
you didn't even get to hear the. Anyways,
The
who
joke.
wants?
The joke.
Well, get to the punchline.
Yeah.
So who wants to go in with me on that one? On that
Nobody.
business deal?
Nobody. Next.
Nobody wants a haircut from Tuttle or
No.
a fish pie
Yeah,
surprise.
I don't want a fish pie
Bone-in
surprise.
catfish sandwich?
No.
All I'm asking for is $1,300 to put Tuttle through beauty school.
That's a lot of money.
Have you seen Tuttle's hair?
Yeah. No, it's bad. All right.
we
Next
should
question.
move on.
Yep.
All right, category. God bless your mouth. On Wednesday's episode titled Carmen Morales, Dan mentioned
That was chunky, dude.
Dan mentioned that it was cool how listeners in the crowd in Carmen's comedy special would snap their fingers. What did Tom say an audience in Florida would have done instead?
Something good.
He's funny. We really don't remember
Cough up a
anything.
loogie like Tom just
We
did?
don't remember anything we do we?
No, I don't.
I don't know. Would they slap two fish together or something?
I like that.
I don't know.
It's
It's a good show. I should pay attention.
We don't know. Just tell
What
us.
is it?
Sneeze their teeth out.
I like that you guys laugh at your own
Yeah, we do.
show.
I like what Drew does. It's better.
Yeah.
And now, welcome back to Drew Does Tom and Dan. He reads your favorites.
And then we laugh at it as if we never heard it.
Read our next joke, Drew.
Read it back to us so we laugh at it like we heard it for the first time.
You
And
there.
it's not even that funny.
You there, big jacket. Read more jokes.
All right, you ready for question 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, Sam's still winning. 1 point on the board.
Okay.
Category.
cares.
Call the doctor. Tom is acting weird. On Tuesday's episode titled The Big B Boys,
I thought we lost that claim. But
No, it went great.
I know it did go great,
you know
but I
what?
did. I sent him an email. I'm like,
I
because
saw that.
I got scared because after we were laughing and I was eating my wrap or whatever during lunch, and I was like. We said they had a
Daniel
big
called him the butthole boys.
like 10 times. I was like, well, the owner, what if he's like, like he's a professional insurance company. Like, you know, who not? Like, what if, I don't know. And then I was like,
They
uh-oh.
did seem a little defeated when they left.
Yeah. Then I was like, they called the
But
boss.
then Tom did damage control. Yeah.
But then I never went back, so I was like, oh. But then Jamie posted it, and I was like,
Yeah.
Check out these buttholes.
back to business.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, Drew.
that's all good. Tuesday's episode titled Big B Boys, Tom talked about how easy it is for him to wrestle children while in the pool.
We should have cut that out.
Yeah.
I asked you if I should cut that out.
She did. I said, no, make it louder.
What superhero did Tom say he was while throwing the kids around?
Pedo man?
Call the doctor. Tom is acting weird.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is correct.
Damn it!
Oh, Doctor Strange. Okay, I get it.
Bonus question.
Oh, God.
This one's real good. What did Tom say his unique special power was?
In the pool?
Yeah, as Doctor Strange.
Uh-oh.
Tom.
Yeah.
I can do the portal thing with my ding dong.
Yep.
Wow, they're
Portal
bonding.
ding dong.
They're bonding.
Yeah, that one came to me.
Don't say that.
All right, keep going.
Okay, here we go. I got my second business idea. The other one was just a joke. This one's serious. So I really want to go into business here.
Oh, God.
All right, he's pulling up another background song. Here we go.
Are you an avid listener of the Tom and Dan podcast, but still haven't found a direct messaging service that provides everything you need? Well, look no further. Introducing BDMs, a direct messaging application for BDMs to send DMs of nothing but Bs. That's right, nothing but boobs, butts, and boners. Unlike Discord, our app comes with an automatic filter that removes any signs of red, irritated, and chafed genitalia. And we're introducing a Tom-proof filter, allowing users to
Tom's
screenshot...
eyes glazed over. I was watching her, and they glazed over.
Oh, it's like an alligator.
What are you thinking about right now?
Yeah, what were
I'm
you
trying to
thinking
hide.
about?
I'm trying to, I feel like something is attacking my eyes like a Florida alligator.
Introducing the Tom-proof filter, allowing users to screenshot pictures of their friends breastfeeding...
Oh, okay, stop here. You got to turn
Not
your music off.
breastfeeding.
Breastfeeding.
breastfeeding their children.
No, stop. I thought you were saying you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
What, Drew? When you're writing these things, I wonder.
Do you play this off of your wife? Do you?
Yeah,
No.
you test it out.
I hide it.
I like good answer.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
answer. You're on the board now. You get a point.
Alright.
Ooh, maybe you're like those guys that like to be stomped.
The butthole boys?
No.
Don't.
Stop. No, the guys that like to be
Yes.
humiliated and
Right.
stomped.
But he hides
He
it from his
he
wife.
gets it.
Yeah, but he likes getting stomped on here.
Has
Yeah,
she ever
yeah.
caught you writing her questions at all?
No.
Are you in there like, and you're,
You don't look. But I feel like
Leave me alone, I'm masturbating.
but while you're writing this, you're like, yes, they're gonna hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna stomp it good.
yeah, make it flat, make it flat.
Yeah. Like I feel like there's no way because you listen to the show a lot, so I feel like there's no way you thought this
Yes,
was
Tom
gonna go.
and Dan, I've been a naughty quiz master.
Yeah.
I've been a horrible quiz master. Stop them flat.
You couldn't have thought, hey, they're gonna laugh
Yeah,
and fall out of you.
These guys are going to be my friends.
Daniel wasn't gonna ever say like, oh, that's the most brilliant piece of writing I've ever heard. And then we're gonna laugh and laugh.
They'll
and
be
then,
like, you want to go to lunch? Yeah, then we're like, you know what? Move in with me.
what if we Drew? Okay, there's this thing that happened back in our day in radio.
Intern. You can make him an intern?
You were in radio, right? Or is that the other white
No.
dude? I can't tell you.
I'm the white dude who was an intern in radio.
Oh, you were okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so was Kenny too? Kenny was in radio.
Yeah,
all
did
these.
radio.
I don't know if you
That's
know this,
why.
but all stupid white dudes want to be in radio. All of them. Every single one of them. You're white and you're a dude, you want to be in stupid radio.
And you got to be a
And
little
chances
bit
are
not
you're
funny.
fat. Yeah, and you're fat.
not funny.
Not funny,
Yeah, yeah,
fat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If you were funny, you wouldn't be radio.
And you're not a savory individual. You make bad decisions. You hate women.
See, here's the problem, Drew. You're working your way in. I see what you're doing. I did the same thing when I was in radio.
He's working his way in. You really think that?
You work your way in, and then all of a sudden, all the radio guys, they start asking you to hang out with them and their like personal wives and like come over to their house or whatever.
I'm having a barbecue.
But then you
Come over, but bring your bear suit. We might need some levity.
But then when you start hanging out with them, you see how crazy they are.
Yeah, let me tell you. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, why did I want to hang out with these crazy
These people are terrible people. You might say that. You were like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. But then after you look in the mirror and it's been 10 years,
You're
and
like,
you're
I'm one of them.
Yeah, and you look, and you get a tank top on, and you're getting sloppy.
Yeah.
And oh man,
Yeah. And then you look at your wife, she's gone.
Oh,
like you
yeah,
have
she
two
left you
new
a
wives.
long time ago.
Yeah. So just be careful, Drew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're playing a dangerous game.
Yeah. Next question.
I think we hurt his feelings. This always happens about fourth question. We hurt his feelings and then he clams up.
I don't know. Ask any more questions.
Yeah, he takes his questions and goes home.
Category: Curious Dan. He's a fine swine. On Friday, freak.
Did you just call him a pig?
I think that's what the question's gonna. I think I called myself a pig earlier in the week.
Okay.
On Friday, on the Friday free show titled "Dippin' in the Hurricane Wood," you all discussed if there were any famous people who died of tetanus. You looked it up and found the name Fred Thompson, the silent film cowboy. You quickly said that was Tom. Then you read the next name and declared it was Dan. What was the next name?
Oh God, it was something. I know the last name, but
It
I can't
was
remember
like
the first name.
a Fremont Willie or something.
Free Willie, it's a Fremont Willie.
It was something like that. It was like a name of a place, and then
It was like Billy Hogg or something like that.
oh, it was Hogg.
Yeah, it was Hogg.
Yeah.
Listen to the clue. Curious Dan.
George Hogg.
George Hogg is
I'm on the board.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
on the board. I'm on the board.
Wow. Okay, it's a three-way tie.
No, it's
I know
not.
it.
I'm
It's
winning.
being said.
Sam's still winning.
Okay, sorry.
I got 2.
That's right.
Well, I'm kind of nervous to do this, but I got my last fish tank idea that I'm gonna pitch.
No,
your
go
way.
ahead and do it. We'll be nice.
Yeah.
Will you let me get all the way through it?
Yeah.
I
Go
can't
through it
promise
here.
that.
Like that.
Because the end is where I really
My
seal
wife
the
says
deal.
that. She's like, like, nope.
All right, I'm switching up the non-copyrighted intro music because I could tell you guys weren't feeling that last stuff. So you went on the Tom and Dan cruise. You even bought a ticket for the Tom and Dan land cruise. Well, pack your bags for the next experience in cruises. Introducing the Dan and Tom Van Cruise. That's right. Get ready to board a 16-passenger van where you and the gang will set off for the sights and sounds of Polk County. You'll disembark in Davenport, where you'll get to see the McMansions and the traffic of Champions Gate. Next, it's off to the fastest growing city in Florida, Lakeland. As we drive through the neighborhoods, peer out the windows for a chance to spot one of the thousands of sexual offenders that call this place home. Lastly, we'll stop at the Polk County Sheriff's Office, where Sheriff Judd Grady will threaten each and every one of you with physical violence. Who's ready to kick the tires and light the dumpster fires? It's the Dan and Tom Van Cruise of Polk County.
I don't mind that one.
Did you mean to say Judd Grady? That you were reversing all the names?
Is his name Grud Jady?
No, his name is Grady Judd.
Oh, no, I got it
Called
wrong.
him Judd Grady.
Yeah. And when you tell everybody,
Sheriff Judd's.
hey, wait till the end of this one.
It gets good at the end where I say
Yeah.
Juddy Grud.
Yeah, it's like calling your shot and then just striking out. It's like, all right, and
Yeah.
then you have to watch it. Why'd you do it, Drew?
Yeah, why did
You just I sat here awkward the entire time.
I got hot?
Yeah. Nothing makes me more awkward than someone nervously reading a comedy bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's up there.
It's my 2 minutes of comedy.
It's up there. It's hard.
Yeah. Now I see why. Although when I did it, I hated I didn't even want to be there. There was a disregard of like, I hate this place, I hate the show.
Yeah.
And then like, I want to do bad. Screw it.
Yeah, so
Hopefully-
you got more out of it.
Hopefully they cancel it.
Drew, you're actually trying to do a good job, right?
Yeah.
See, and
Yeah,
that's what makes
yeah.
this so sad.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, if you try,
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
there's
It's
something
okay.
about trying too hard that no one likes. Why does that? It's weird.
When,
Why
why
does
do it,
that-
when I do it, people will write me like, "Try hard, you a-hole." And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
People don't like other people trying hard
No.
because I think it
Oh,
makes
this is gonna
them
force me to try hard.
yeah. Like we want to all
If we all
collect-
try hard, then the world will be an awesome place. Ah, God.
Yeah. We all collectively want everybody to do nothing and to be lazy because then we feel better about
Yeah,
ourselves.
just go
right?
under the radar like the Tom Van.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Do you have anything else for us, Drew?
I do. I have my final question.
No.
Oh, all right. All right.
Final
Final
question.
question.
It just happens to be on 2 pages, which is
Oh,
inconvenient.
it's a big boy question. Man, this guy's, the amount of costuming, the papers, the questions,
The
hours
YouTube
upon
music.
hours. All right, last question.
Were you just judging my socks?
Oh, he saw that. He saw
Well,
that.
how do you notice that?
Wow. I
People
didn't even
notice other
that.
people.
Yeah, man. You're the only person that notices nothing, but he straight up
Dude.
saw you look at his socks.
You looked and you made a grimace.
Oh, he did. He did. He made like a ill.
No. I saw your socks were light pink, and I was wondering if you just
Got all sorts of colors in there.
yeah. But okay,
those
that
are
was
cool.
a.
Those are like hip socks.
I thought it was just your white socks got dyed pink from your
Oh,
picture.
yeah.
that you were wearing.
Just washed them
Ah, what
yesterday.
kind of human are you, man?
No. I just I was ready to criticize, and then I saw it, and I was like, don't know. And then I noticed that they were on purpose pink, and then I didn't criticize.
On purpose pink.
Last question.
Yeah.
Here we go. Category. Take this, you crazy. On Thursday's episode titled Prison Ninja Warrior, you all discussed how challenging it must be to be in customer service and have to deal with insane people. What was Tom and Dan's rationale on why working at a mental institute wouldn't be that bad?
Tom,
Yes.
because you could hit the people at the mental institute.
You can't hit them.
You get the point there.
Yeah. We are
You're
pro
on the
that.
board.
Yeah, we are pro. You whack them good.
This is actually exactly what the two of you said together.
Oh, we don't put this in writing.
It's a transcript of the show now.
It's so much worse when
No,
you read it. too.
oh,
It's
no,
so
you're
much
gonna-
worse when you read it.
You said it's okay. It's not so bad working at a mental institute because you can hit them in the head, push them through the double doors, duct tape them, and lock them up. And then you went to commercial.
It's worse when you read
These
it.
are bad people. This is like a court.
Oh, it's
It
worse
is,
when
yeah.
you read it and then we laugh at it.
Yeah.
Who said that?
You know when we
That's
go to
brilliant.
court, you guys can't laugh when they read the transcripts.
No,
That's a bad
I
look.
won't tell
be able
Johnny
to stop.
Depp.
Yeah,
That's true.
I saw
He is laughing.
exactly.
He laughed at the whole thing. No one
That's true.
cared.
So Tom and Dad, why did you hit them on the head? Because they put a grumpy in my bed.
So now are me and Sam tied?
Tied, and I don't have any more questions, so I don't know how to.
Hold on. Well, you didn't obviously over-prepare for everything.
Yeah, you didn't.
Well, I don't-
Well, normally we don't get this far.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, can you just make up some
Yeah,
random
why don't you guys
question?
Indian leg wrestlers over here?
Fight to the death.
do that. That'd be great.
Okay, no. Laying down with the... I'll be in court. Anyway, so Drew, you got nothing to plug. We've determined...
You don't know that. You didn't ask.
Well, no, but every time I ask him, he's like,
does
I
your
just
significant other have anything to plug, or can we help out your family in any way?
I
Or
got something to plug.
Oh, okay.
Tuttle's budget cuts. Nestled in the heart of the hobo
he
fish
stays
camp.
right with it, and he never varies.
So why didn't radio work out?
Oh, so I was just.
I know.
I think we just got an example.
I think I know.
It's a long
Did they let
story.
you do it as long as we did?
No, so I just had to do it to get my degree. You had to do an internship. So I did it at a rock radio station.
Yes.
This is
And-
Rockin' Drew.
It was me and 3 other.
Super Dave?
kids.
Were you interning with Super Dave?
There was a Bob and Tom show that was there.
That's a big show.
Or not Tom. I don't even remember their names. But everybody was super jaded. Like I remember we had
That
a.
doesn't sound like the radio.
Yeah, I don't know. We must not have been at the same radio station.
Dude, we had a private show with Chris Cornell where we all got to go in and listen. I was like, "This is the craziest thing we get to." And they're like, "Whatever, dude. It's just Chris Cornell." I'm like, "You guys suck." I just couldn't be around
Not
people with
even
that.
a big deal, man. He's probably gonna kill himself soon.
Did they have any wacky names?
The Riz, and I think he's still there.
Whoa!
Rizzo.
Don't be named. I don't need any Riz heat.
Hey Riz, Tom and Dan coming at you.
The Riz.
What city is this in?
St. Louis.
Okay.
Oh, the Riz in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Was there any panty boys or
Yeah.
boners?
No boners, no
Snatch.
panty boys.
How about Snatch?
No,
Was it a hip hop radio station?
No, it was rock radio.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, you
just
don't
said
get a
that.
lot of. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Riz sounds very hip hop radio station to me.
Did they have some mascot like a buzzard or a
Yeah.
turtle or a frog?
Like an eagle with his claws are made of pure metal music.
So it was MS Radio, and we had two stations.
MS Radio.
MS Radio, and it was two stations. It was a rock station that was 105.7 The Point, and it was just a point. A decimal was their logo. But the other one, I'm not kidding.
What's the point?
Oh man.
The other one was KC95, and it was a fat pig with sunglasses.
Why'd they make it a female pig called
Fat
Banshee?
pig with sunglasses. I love it.
This is the audio representation of us.
If you've got us in your ears,
weird.
then you're a fat girl pig.
Usually the
Turn
sunglasses.
the knob on if you have hooves.
See, it's weird they win sunglasses because that's more of a barbecue restaurant. You know what I mean? Because the heat of the fire cooking you is too bright for your eyes.
All right, we got our
Uh-oh.
interview. We got to take a break. Drew, hang out. You
wanna
can
go?
sit during the interview. Just got to be quiet, okay? So we'll take a quick break and come back with more A Corporate Time right after this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time, and this is pretty cool because he's going to be at the Hurricane Party May 28th.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing a live podcast, too. All the information is at tomanddan.com. But, Daniel, I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of this particular gentleman and his band, and I got to maybe refresh his memory a little bit. October 30th, 2010, they opened for Bad Religion at the House of Blues. It was with Off With Our Heads, and you guys commanded the stage, and you made me a fan that day. From the band The Aggrolites, it's Jesse Wagner. How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and,
I remember that.
I was there with my buddy Tony Rage, and we were there, and we're big Bad Religion fans. And you guys took the stage. We'd gotten there a little early at House of Blues to have some food. And we went in there and we caught the entire set you guys did. And I've been a fan for life. Like, since I saw that show and the amount of energy and the amount of, like, just true, just classic reggae sound is just so fun. And you were the best band of the night, man. Where did you guys come up with?
Thank you.
How did you get to a point where you were doing what you guys have now kind of stylized as dirty reggae?
Well, we've been, now it's been 20 years we've been a band, so that was
Nice.
a halfway point,
Yeah.
I guess, till now. But, I mean, in the late 90s, we were all part of the Los Angeles ska reggae scene, and, how ska and reggae and punk rock all kind of go hand in hand with each other. Throughout the 90s, the big popular band in the traditional old school sound was a band called Hepcat to us.
Yeah.
They were like the big, and all the other bands, like this was during the time when the whole third wave thing was blowing up with, Real Big Fish and bands like that,
Sure.
like the poppy ska punk stuff. So we always wanted to be like Hepcat, and there was a million bands kind of copying that vibe. And we always liked the music that the DJs were playing, was like the old skinhead reggae stuff, you know? And nobody was really touching that sound at the time. So, I mean, it was just that was, we were like, let's play that style. And then, some of the guys in the band were influenced by old DC hardcore, and another couple guys were influenced by, 77 punk rock from the UK, and other guys were into the old school ska and soul music. So it was like, let's not be the Fred Perry black and white suit rude boy band on stage, and let's play skinhead reggae, but go with that whole punk vibe. Let's try to be like the Clash or something.
Yeah, and
Do that kind of thing.
What was amazing to me and my buddy who were kind of taking you guys in is that we heard you before we saw you, right? So it was one of those things where we're standing upstairs and we're listening, and it just sounded so. It had a very old soul kind of a sound to it. It sounded like the instruments were like authentic and old. It sounded like the organ and the amps that you guys were using were like conditioned. And, like everything sounded like Trojan records or so. Like it sounded like traditional style reggae. And when we saw who was out there, it just looked like us. And I'm like, oh my God, these guys look like
well, that was the thing. People always say, he who feels it knows it. That's like Bob Marley would say, or whatever. It's like if you don't listen to the root of where it comes from, you're never going to be able to play it. There's a million bands out there that want to be Sublime or nowadays there's a lot of those bands that are trying to do that sound, and but a lot of those groups, with no disrespect, but a lot of groups don't even know the real thing, you know. Like
Right.
you'll play like Alton Ellis for them or Ken Booth, and they have no idea who that is, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of them do also, but it's kind of like you got to get to the roots to be able to play it. I mean, we're never going to be as tight as the Jamaicans because we didn't grow up in Jamaica,
Right.
but we studied the hell out of those records, and anytime we'd see a photograph or something on one of those Trojan Records comps or the cover of a Treasure Isle compilation, you know, and I mean, our organ player we'd all nerd out on things, you know. One of our guys in the band was a sound engineer, and he was studying all the gear that Lee Perry was using,
Yes.
and King Tubby, and you know, and so for a long time, like with the organ especially, we used to find those things at like on Craigslist for free from some old grandma and lug it around like a piece of furniture, and
Yeah.
then by the end of the tour, the thing would be broken, and we'd drop it off, you know, at
Yeah.
some dump somewhere.
I was
but
wondering.
we used to take
Yeah, I was
we used to
wondering if
take
you.
tape on those things. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I was. You're going to answer what I'm sorry. I apologize for being actually really excited
no
to
problem.
chat with you, man. But yeah, like I always wondered where you guys got vintage instruments, or if it was a kind of a chore. Do you have to like dig in crates, almost like DJs
Oh, yeah.
do for old gear?
Little old ladies. That's the answer. Little old ladies. They always had those. We call them grandma organs, and they'd be, you know, $10-20 at the most, sometimes free. But they'd never last, you know. It's like hauling around a piece of furniture with a bunch of tubes in it, you know. So, you know, and I mean, this wasn't easy back in the day. We would lug those things around upstairs and downstairs, and our organ player and our old bass player at the time actually chopped one. They like chopped it so it was more compatible. But still, it's like back in those days, we there was a time when we had a piano player with our organ player, and we were lugging a little upright piano and an organ just because we had to sound old school.
Yeah.
And we used to, it was like a secret weapon. We didn't want anybody knowing what kind of organs we were using or sound. So we would take like masking tape and cover up the name brand of the organ and write Casio and do shit like that.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
I love it. That's really cool,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, Tom. Question for Jesse is going to be at the hurricane party.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm just curious.
Yeah, yep.
You guys have been a band for 20 years. Do you, in your opinion, do you think it's easier when you started or easier now for bands to start now because of the ability for them to market themselves with
Self-promote.
social media, but they also, it seems like they have to get through the static of 10 million bands because there's just more content out there. Do you think it's easier back 20 years ago or now to promote yourself?
I think it's a lot easier now with social media and definitely YouTube and Spotify and how you could get your hands on pretty much any style of music. And, you know, the talent is out there. But I think it was more of a passionate thing 20 years ago to where bands would, you know, it's like if you'd go, you know, record store shop and not even know what you're getting your hands on. And there's been so many like old Jamaican, it looks cool just by the cover. And then it ends up being some like soca aerobics, like Byron Lee. I bought so many Byron Lee and the Dragonair albums over the years, and it's like you really got to filter through those. So it was like much more of a passionate thing, I would say.
Yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day. Nowadays, it's like a kid overnight could go buy his, you know, skinhead root boy startup kit, you know, and get Fred Perry on the internet. When back in the day, we'd have to go to thrift stores all over the place and find them for, you know.
You brought up something sort of
corners.
interesting. I remember buying like a Bob Marley album, you know, but it was more like modern day Bob Marley, right? And I remember as a young man, like going to the record store and digging through, you know, like bargain basement CDs, and I found like a Bob Marley record. And I went home and I put it on, and I remember listening to it and hearing him play ska. And I remember that was,
Oh, yeah.
and I remember, and I was like, what the hell is this? You know, and that was like, but it was cool that I actually discovered it. I wasn't told about it, like what you're
and
mentioning.
You feel really cool once, you know, you feel that good about yourself. Like, yeah, I found something, you know,
Right.
and then you go and show your friends and stuff, you know. And
You don't
and the
get
other
that
cool
now.
thing,
You're right.
I remember going to ska shows back in the early 90s, and there'd be like kids there with flight jackets with a bunch of patches and pins. And I remember reading the patches on those jackets and being like, I'm going to remember the name of that so I could go look for it,
Yeah, it was hard to find new bands and stuff. Yeah,
Well-
you're right. You had to find it where you could, patches and old record stores.
Well, with that's kind of what it led me into the next part of my question, which was going to be, do you think the grind that led you guys to the success you had was part of the reason you guys are successful? Like, because it was harder is the reason you guys are around so long,
survive.
are so successful?
I don't know. I mean, we just really nerded out on it, I guess, over the time, over all the years.
Yeah, but you've done other things too. Like during COVID, you guys, it's not like you were doing shows. I was listening to one interview with you. Is it true that you ended up going to barber school and kind of getting your hours and getting your knowledge as far as giving good cuts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm actually at the barbershop right now, and I have a haircut coming up in about 30 minutes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
We know how, we were just talking about haircuts, and Tom and I go to a barbershop here in town called Liberty Barber. You got to respect your barber. You got to go there and tip them good and support them because they support you and they make you look all good. When did you start doing that, and how long has that been a passion?
So it is what you said. It was during COVID. We had nothing going on. The band wasn't, music came to a complete stop. And I was lucky enough to be with the Aggrolites for 20 years, or I guess 18 or 19 years before COVID.
Sure.
And I was always, in between tours, I'd go do odd end jobs, but never any kind of there was never any kind of a backup plan career thing that I had. It was always just play in the band and then go lay tile or something, or, go get some goofy sales job for a few months and pretend that I'm totally stoked on it and then quit. Go back on the road.
Sure.
So I got my buddy here. His name is Clint. He's been my friend for over 25 years. And I would get my hair cut from him all the time. And I've always had an interest in it. My great-grandfather was a barber from Italy, and, and a bunch of my uncles and cousins were barbers. So it was always in the family. I just never really grew up around it, doing it or anything, but for some reason, all the musicians in my family were barbers. I don't know.
I know a lot of barbers that are musicians. Like, even our barber is a drummer.
Yeah.
And he's been a drummer in many punk bands.
Because there's an artist element to it.
There absolutely is.
Yeah. It's definitely like working on art, But anyways, he said, hey, why don't you go to school? And, because it takes 1,500 hours to get your license, It's a full-time 8-hour-a-day thing. A lot of people think it's just cutting hair, but it's you got to learn all kinds of medical things, skin disorders and all the bones in the head and muscles and arteries and so on.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's a lot of work.
So, but anyways, I went to school. I don't think he thought I was really going to do it. 2 days after I talked to him, I call him up. I said, I found a school, and
That's
the
awesome.
school opened and closed a few times throughout the year with the whole COVID thing, and we weren't really getting many walk-ins, obviously, because of COVID. But, I went through it, got my license in January, and I've been cutting hair ever since.
That's awesome.
I've
And with
been
the
here now for
band,
about 4 months.
And with the band, didn't you guys, even during COVID, as far as keeping your chops up and playing, I had read somewhere that you guys had played a few weddings or unconventional.
Yeah, we were doing little private things here and there. Of course, we were very careful with the whole COVID thing and masks and all that. But yeah, there was a couple times that we got hired to do a little private wedding for a little small family or something like that. Or a lot of us were doing the internet thing. I was doing a lot of dedications on the internet where I'd learn a song and record it on my in my Logic program or whatever, and then perform it, dedicate it. And our our organ player Roger, he never quit. That guy built a whole recording studio, and was doing a lot of engineering gigs and producing his own records and stuff. So yeah, nobody ever really gave up. We all just kind of kept our chops up and kept music in our lives during that time.
I love how down to earth you guys seem. Everybody seems very approachable and cool. For instance, here's not to nerd out on you and geek out too hard, but I know that you put out, I think, through the collaboration with your sister, a kids album that you can still find on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome.
It's called Happy Wags. And if you want the dopest kid album for your kid to listen to something that's a little more Aggrolites and a little less Barney, you can put this on, and it's awesome. It's called Happy Wags. You can find it. And there's a song called Pee Pee in the Potty that is my absolute favorite. Pee Pee in the Potty is magnifique.
I really appreciate it. I haven't heard anybody talk about that record for a long time.
It's good, man.
That's cool,
It's funny because it's really, really good. I put it on for my daughter who's 6, and she's like, well, where was this when I was 3? She's like, this is really good stuff.
Yeah, in between tours, I was home a lot, and I'd spend time with my family as much as I could, so I was always over at my sister's house. And she has 2 boys, and they were, toddlers at the time. One was a baby, Dean. There's a song called Baby Dean about him.
Okay,
but,
now I know what it's about. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So it was Dean and Sean, and the ideas would just spark up because my sister would be sitting there and say, hey, don't touch the buttons, or, use your words. There'd always be, hey, that's a song right there.
Yeah, so he wrote all these...
in the potty?
Yeah, he wrote all these songs. And, hey, Jesse, thank you so much for the time. Please give some love to everybody in the band. And we're super duper stoked to have you guys in Sanford, Florida for the Hurricane Party. You're going to be in a really good spot for traditional reggae because it is basically a reggae bar.
Yeah,
and so
that is awesome.
We're
can't wait.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you, man, and it will be a pleasure to meet you guys. And safe travels. And thanks again for the time. Okay.
I appreciate you put me on the air. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, man.
We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Dude.
Take care. That is Jesse Wagner live from the barber shop.
Hey, you should do most of our interviews from now on. You're really good at it.
Yeah, I like to do.
You
I
know
sweat
all the
like
stuff. I asked one really dumb question that if it's easier to promote yourself now on social
He's
media.
like, duh.
Yeah.
Well, that I
didn't think it was dumb. Man.
No, there was a point to the whole thing, but
Even Drew thought that one was dumb.
Yeah. But I realized. What was that?
You ready?
This is the kids.
Yeah. You're gonna like this.
Time to time, everybody pee-pees. You can always tell when it's pee-pee time. So before you pee-pee dance or make a pee-pee in your pants, listen to this song and rhyme. A kitty pee-pee in the litter box now. A doggy pee-pee on the tree. But I'm sure that they would, if they could, pee-pee in the party like you and me. So if you have to pee-pee, oh, pee-pee in the party. Pee-pee in the party. If
great.
you have to pee-pee, go to the pee-pee room.
Oh, come
That's
on.
hilarious.
It's freaking fantastic.
It'd be so cool if he played that at the Hurricane Party. Just out of nowhere. In the middle of the song.
I bet you
Let's
they'll
request
do it.
it, yeah.
I bet you they'll do it because they don't. They're the type of band that I dreamed of being a part of in that they don't take themselves too seriously to have fun. They're just true, authentic, genuine musicians that love reggae. That's it.
Hold
It
on.
doesn't go any further than that.
Play "Don't Touch the Buttons."
All right. A little don't touch your buttons. The production values on this are disgustingly good.
But don't touch it. Some buttons are big, some buttons are small. And if you give me a button, I want to touch them all. Some buttons are circle, some buttons are square. All around the house, I'm seeing buttons everywhere. Don't touch the buttons.
Yeah, it's just like,
That's great.
Yeah, it's better
is
than
great.
normal kid music. Anyway, got to take a break.
All right, bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Drew's still here. How you doing,
Thank you
Drew?
for turning the air on.
God, he's still here.
Pleasure to
we
be
had
here.
to have Sam go and turn the air on because Drew
Oh,
makes
so
us
hot.
Yeah, Drew makes us uncomfortable. And he's sitting here in his oversized jacket.
All right, so you got something in the back.
yeah.
What is it?
He
It's the
has a
prize for
gun.
the winner. However, myself and Tom have tied, so
You got to share it.
Is it
to
the
share
new?
this
Is it
prize.
the new Bug Assault 3.0? Have you seen this?
No.
The Bug Assault guy, Lorenzo. Don't ask me why I still know his name. he has a new bug assault that's CO2 powered.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
and
that
it'll
seems
kill
aggressive.
it'll kill roaches now. He says you can kill roaches, and he guarantees scorpions too.
Well, I figured like if you could kill a scorpion, you could just list all bugs, right? I've like. Right?
Scorpions, like-
you should just be like, it'll kill
Scorpions,
flies
etc.
and all bugs.
Scorpions, etc.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What's the prize?
All right.
So this was the fish tank themed, and I am sad that I didn't make any deals. But you and Sam are the big fish, so fresh from Amazon today.
I don't want to be a big fish. Hold
Well,
on.
that's the prize.
What is that?
Is that a
Well-
fish mask? It's a fish mask.
Oh, God, Drew.
You want me to put it on?
No, I'll put
Come on,
it
that's
Is
really.
that the swamp
Wait, where are
thing?
your claws? Where are your claws?
It's
Go
mo-
get your claws.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, he's going to get his claws.
Oh, it's what was that move? The Shape of Water? or
Oh,
whatever?
it's the shape of.
I
Oh, he's
think
gonna
so.
get in his jacuzzi with his wife and have sex.
Blah, blah, blah,
Are you
blah,
gonna have sex with your wife wearing the shape of water? Yeah.
Did you take the
Oh
claws
no,
off?
we gave him away.
Did we?
I'm
Yeah.
offended.
I would have taken those.
I think we gave him away for BDM Appreciation Week.
Oh, who got the claws? Nobody posted about it.
Nobody posted about anything. It was a failure,
damn.
Sam. Back to you.
Oh my God, that is terrifying.
Oh my God.
That is terrifying.
That's horrible.
It stinks in here.
What is that?
I'm not joking. It smells.
That is horrifying.
That is horrifying.
You got to work that fold out.
That is terrible.
It smells like a patty melt in here.
That sounds like it smells good.
Yeah, I love
Patty
patty
melt.
Yeah, I love a good
yeah,
patty
but
melt.
it's unfortunate. because-
Unfortunate patty melt.
That is crazy. What is that, Drew? What did you buy?
It's supposed to be fish face, but it don't look like it, does it?
Fish face
No.
from what? From a.
Almost looks like you have a beak.
Here, you want me to wear it so you can see it?
Yeah, it is
I'm telling
terrifying.
Do you have Corona? Because I'm going to put my
Yes.
face into your Corona mask.
Yes.
Hold on. I'm going to wear this with my hat. I'll be cool fish. Oh, it
I'm
does smell
telling
like.
you.
It
it
smells like
like
some
beef?
pizza. It smells like sage. You know they put sage in breakfast sausage?
Yeah. It smells
smells
like a
like
breakfast sandwich.
Why is your hair in here?
Oh, the pubes. Oh, Drew put pubes in there.
I would never.
Oh, he did.
Is your hair falling out, dude?
Your pompadour's
Your
falling
pompadour's
out.
falling out.
No, it's because
Is
I.
this from the cancer treatments?
No, it. Every when I brush my hair in the morning, coming out in clumps.
Actually looks good with your green shirt.
It kind of looks natural on you.
It stinks horribly in here. Sam just said it looks like you.
I said it suits him.
It stinks.
It does stink. Why does it stink?
Why does everything
Drew,
that's made in China stink for? And then it smells
Why
like
are
fish?
you wasting your money?
Are you independently wealthy? What's going on with you?
I wanted you guys to have something to give out for your next BDM.
No, we're
appreciation
never
week.
doing it again. It's a horrible
Sign
failure.
it.
Horrible.
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah.
a poop in that. Send it to somebody.
So
What?
I wanted to defend myself with the stupid question I asked the Aggrolites dude.
Nobody
Okay.
said it was stupid except for you, and you're defending yourself against
Man,
yourself.
that was a
yeah.
whole 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like, and follow me with this and tell me if you agree.
You always say that, and then it's like I feel like you shouldn't. If you want, if you want my real opinion,
Yeah.
don't tell me to follow you.
Which, okay, you can now obviously promote yourself so much easier on social media, and you have the
Right.
ability to become famous so much faster, or at least have a lot more people see you instantly, right? Where it used to have to be gatekeepers.
I will
and-
say it's an open window, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that you're necessarily guaranteed anything.
it's a lottery ticket, right? I mean, sometimes you have a hit and then it becomes super popular and TikTok starts using it or whatever. And then all of a sudden you have 8 million downloads or hit streams or whatever. But there is a thing about like getting famous too fast before you're ready, which could actually be counterintuitive to the longevity of your career. And I'll explain it like
A lot of older comedians have done it right in the fact that they put in the grind and they do all the work.
to prepare themselves
And
for.
then when they do hit, if they hit around, let's say when they turn 30, which would be considered for most people a little late for like doing anything, right? I think
Yeah,
most
yeah.
people assume that you're going to hit it in your 20s or 35, let's say.
Yeah.
And then they're prepared for it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and they've built up the necessary skills and maybe their own personal business, or they're ready for the success because they spent years preparing for it, or like figuring it out.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting famous too fast, and then now you have a bunch of eyes on you, but you don't know where to go with it because you just started and you haven't, figured out how to, like, you haven't gone through the dozen tour managers you need to go, but you haven't figured out which gigs to take, what's not, not to take.
Right.
Where, all the stuff you need to learn by doing, right?
Right.
For instance, like if we had instantly gotten famous, or maybe like the Joe Rogan at the beginning when we started our podcast in 2009, like had us on and promoted us, and all of a sudden we had an insane amount of listeners, triple or 10 times or 50 times what we had at the beginning, right?
Sure.
I feel we would be worse today if that would have happened than we are now. Because if that would have happened, we didn't know how to monetize it. We didn't know what that even meant back then.
My only counterpart point to that would be that we didn't know what to do even when we didn't have that quadruple amount of listeners, and we still figured out how to monetize it. So I think we would have just still figured out how to monetize. I think I give us a little more credit. I think we would have figured it out.
Well, no, we would have figured it out, but it may have taken too long to
fully capitalize?
To capitalize on that amount of listeners, right?
I can agree with that part.
And the same thing with if you're a band or whatever, you got to be ready for everybody to know who you are. And if you're not, it could be counterintuitive to your long term. Also, it may be too stressful at first because you now it's like, oh, I have to turn my fame into something, and then you could have fights with your other bandmates, and that could dissolve it.
Yeah,
you could be making.
Well, he's very mature, right? Like I think one of the reasons that, and we're talking about the interview we did yesterday with Jesse Wagner of the Aggrolites. What's interesting about it is that, I think there's a maturity level that he has that most bands don't have, because he doesn't take himself too seriously. He has another day job as a backup that he's passionate about, which is good. That's also going to be healthy for his music, remember? Because when you have other outlets, it allows you to be better or your best at the things that you love the most, right?
Yeah.
And I think that one of the reasons why I gravitate to this band so much is there's a level of authenticity that they put into their sound and what they write that you don't really get in a lot of, like I'd say modern day artists, like pop music is very dominant right now. I love pop music. I love new pop music. I listen to it all the time, but it is empty in some ways. Like sometimes when I listen to it, it's not there's nothing there really. It's
a lot of it's manufactured to be popular.
And there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. Like it might have an excellent melody. It might have a great beat. It might have really catchy lyrics. That's great. But like when I listen to these guys, there's almost a story. There's almost a tale that they tell through the instruments they use. Like when you hear that organ, you're like, "Whoa, where'd you get that?" There's not many of those around. That's very rare. Why would you use that? That's a hell of a thing to lug around. I don't know. There's value in that to me.
Yeah, I mean, because it's all encompassing the culture of the band that people grow to like, right?
Yeah.
And that culture takes time to build, like their story and the amount of times they played and how long they've been a band is part of the reason they're still successful now, as opposed to if you got too famous too early.
Yes.
And didn't, because then all that culture you built over 20 years is not there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because,
you're right. And these guys
you didn't learn how to become what you are
And
today.
a lot of the members in the Aggrolites, like, yes, that is their main band, but they're in other bands. And they're, like, sleepy famous. Like, for instance, their keyboard player or organ player, I think his name is Richard Reyes. I may be getting that wrong. I don't know if you can look that up, but I believe it's Richard Reyes. And he's like a little guy. It looks like traditional Long Beach, California, like the big wide sunglasses. Playing the organ, and he is sneaky famous. And what I mean by that is this guy tours with Jason Mraz. Like he's his reggae organ player because he's so good at it. When they wanted an authentic reggae sound, they're like, yeah, you got to bring in this guy because he's the guy that knows how to make it sound like the 60s, like the 50s. You know what I mean? Like
Roger Rivas?
Roger. It's Roger, not Richard. Roger Rivas. Yeah, that guy is a straight up reggae organ murderer. He's the guy. It's kind of cool. He has his own albums out too that you can find on Spotify. But like, if you want that organ sound,
He's the same birthday as my husband.
oh no way. But
Well, little older.
he's the guy you go to because he's just the guy.
So, Drew, what do you do the rest of the day when you come in on our show? Like, do you go back home to your wife and, or do you tell
She's
her?
like, I can't take it anymore. You were there again, weren't you? And you're like,
You smell like Tom and Dan.
and you're like, yes, I was. I could tell you have on your Burlington Coat Factory oversized coat. Stole that joke from the chat room.
it's actually undersized, but the shoulder pads pop up.
Yeah, you gotta rip those out, man.
It's not, it's just not. It's not fitted. It's from
You
10
gotta
years
rip those
ago.
out.
Yeah.
so,
Today I'm actually excited. I'm gonna get back home. We're gonna play Star Wars Legos on PS5.
okay, with your son?
No, with my wife.
No. Okay.
This is the world you know nothing about.
Yeah. Having fun with your wife?
Yeah.
You're insane.
It's crazy. It's the one game she'll play with me, and it's friggin' the best.
What if I sent
it
you
can't be
home?
that good.
What if I sent you
What are you
home? You
talking
have a
about?
Switch.
Playing Lego Star Wars with your wife can never be described as friggin' the best.
They-
Like, it can't.
They have
It
this
can't be
game.
the best.
They have this game for your Switch. What if your homework was to buy the game, download it, and play it with your wife tonight to see if it's fun? Would she do it?
No.
Okay.
But also, it would be the best to play with like Steven Spielberg or like the
Steven Spielberg.
What the hell?
Why would I be playing Legos with
Whoa.
Steven Spielberg?
No,
Steve.
the game. I'm just saying there's a lot of better people to play
Oh,
Legos
okay.
with
than your wife.
than your
Okay.
wife. You know, like,
Steven Spielberg
There's
would
a-
be better.
Top
You're
of my
right.
list.
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
at
George
least
Lucas,
1,000.
number 2. Number 3.
Oh yeah, George Lucas Star Wars. So, stand by what I said. Stand by what I said.
Stand by me. Steven
Spielberg.
Stand by, stand down.
Right?
Spielberg Lucas. Anyway, bye. Fucking George Lucas. God damn it.
That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, this guy's fucking flipping out.
I don't know the
Movie
nerd
directors are
shit. Your
great at
movies.
video
Your
games.
fucking nerd movies.
All right, what are we doing now?
I think we're done unless you want to do more. We have a shit ton of guests tomorrow and Thursday as well, though.
What was that? Wednesday?
That was Wednesday 4.
Let's at least
I would like to do one.
let's
more.
do Wednesday 2 or let's just do Wednesday 1 and then we'll. I think we can get. I'm sure.
You working out today?
What guests do we have tomorrow?
We got a lot of
Tomorrow
guests.
We have
You guys want me to hit the road?
we have a call in the morning. Then we have Fair Villa
I'm
at
okay with-
10:30.
I don't
Shireen
care.
Kassam
No,
at
you can sit
11:30.
here.
Hell yeah.
Ted Bone from Pacifier at 1, and then we have a meeting at 2.
Let's get one more just to feel a little more confident.
All right. I was just thinking of someone we could smush in there for a weird hobby or weird job.
Well, we got the pilot coming in Thursday. Should I try and see if we can come in tomorrow instead?
Yeah, ask him. He said he was free all week.
Yeah, because we could.
I mean, I hate to stack up a day. God, I'm falling into Tom. This is usually what drives you crazy. I like your jeans, Sam.
Yeah, we got a call with Hourglass tomorrow at 10. So let me see. I don't think we can.
That's gonna be too tight, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I could put him at 11, but then we're gonna have to kick Fairville out tight, and then kick this guy, the pilot, out, so that we can get Shireen in here.
Let's not do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I have
Then-
Fairville usually goes a
Yeah.
decent amount, and then we haven't talked to Shireen in a while.
And I think she's bringing wings.
I just think we're gonna get behind if we
I
do
do
that,
too.
and then we're gonna have to steal from other segments to get more time for other segments, and it never works out right. So, you want to do one more or no?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Wednesday
right.
1.
Wednesday 1.
You want to do voicemail email? We
Sure.
got tons. All right. Why don't you begin and get those emails ready, Sam? Here we go. Drew's just gonna hang out.
Yep.
All right, Drew, you're hanging out.
Thanks. It's fun.
3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer Samantha's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Give me the deets, and I hate that phrase, but give me the deets on your latest semantics podcast and where people can find it.
Okay, well, you can go to semanticspodcast.com and find everything semantics. You can find it anywhere podcasts are found. Last week, this past Sunday, we had Trey Sywick from Gettin' Grub on, as well as Chris Rock from Rock Pit Brewing.
There you go. So check that out, like and subscribe, and hit up our Patreon because everybody loves money.
What do we want to do?
Let's do voicemails and emails.
All right.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
You look a little.
right?
You look like you're having maybe a little aneurysm going on or something.
No, I'm good.
You're right. You got
Yeah,
a new-
yeah. I'm good.
He looks sad. What? You're sad?
No,
Is
no.
something you need to tell us?
I'm never sad.
Hey, I'll tell you guys something. I think I'm getting a puppy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, why are you doing that to yourself?
I need something that loves me because my family hates me.
I mean, you got the
What
other
if the
dog.
puppy hates you?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. And like, you know.
Maggie loves Andrea the most because Andrea's with her the most.
Yeah, because she's taking care of the new puppy. Andrew will be taking care of.
No, this is going to be my dog.
Are you gonna bring it to the
No.
studio?
Yeah.
Oh, pee pee everywhere.
No,
Yeah,
don't.
this place is going to stink.
What is that, Joseph Martin?
Yeah, I'll just lock it in the bathroom. When it's, I'll lock it in the bathroom.
Why are you doing
Put
that
down
to
some
yourself?
pads. Put down some pee
Don't
pads.
get an animal you got to take care of. It stinks up your house.
What about like, okay, I thought about this. and
Don't
I-
get any animal.
No animal? Sugar glider.
No, nothing. Just don't get anything.
No, you know I'm anti-sugar glider.
Don't get an animal. It seems like I think the fantasy is better than the reality.
Well,
You
that's
know.
with everything.
Yeah. So don't do anything.
Oh, what is that? Is that my wife? Who is that?
We have a spontaneous weird hobby Wednesday.
Oh my God.
Line 2.
Line 2. Let's see if this works. Hey.
I don't know what it is.
Hey,
so
spontaneous weird hobby Wednesday. How are you? Who's on the line?
I'm doing awesome. This is BDM Tsunami.
All right.
Tsunami. Great. You came correct with the weirdest of fake names. I love it. Well, thanks for calling the show. What is your weird hobby?
So my weird hobby is I farm quail.
quail.
You're a quail
You're
farmer.
quail man.
Is that for eggs
I'm a
or
quail man.
for shooting?
Well, mostly for eggs and a little bit for the meat.
Quail meat.
So-
Is it greasy like duck?
No, it tastes like the dark meat of a chicken.
All right.
dark
Oh, that's
meat.
my favorite.
Yeah, mine too. It's the most flavor.
So-
Sam knows. Thighs are
Yeah.
where it's at.
The only quail story I have.
Oh, it's one of my favorites, and I just wish your wife were here so I could
Is-
actually see how mad she would get.
I have no idea if this is true or not, but Brett Bushy told me one time that he was quail hunting with Jerry Jones on his quail hunting property.
Yes.
And they sat on the back of a golf cart while like people like escorted them around and then
To boxes.
there were people in the bushes like letting quail out of cages and they would try to shoot them from the back of a golf cart as they drove around Jerry Jones' property. And I thought that was the
Oh, it's the ultimate.
the best and most insane thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That the rich people, because it's
Drive me around so I can blast these birds.
that was my most like the story of the most quintessential rich guy thing I've ever heard of is driving around in the back of a golf cart shooting quail out of your own property from guys letting them free from cages. Anyway, tell me how big a quail actually is, because I have no idea.
So it's extremely small. The actual bird itself, you can, it probably, if you put both your hands together, like tip to tip, that's how big they get.
So,
Like if you make I don't know how to explain. It's less than a pound.
okay.
Oh, that's not a lot
so
at all.
these are little guys. Are they?
What is
are
it,
they-
like a miniature duck?
More like a miniature chicken.
I'm down with a miniature chicken.
A mini chicken.
Yeah, a mini chicken.
That did not-
chickadee.
Clarify anything.
It's a baby chicken.
Yeah, like a chicken is about like this. It's like about like that.
Yeah.
Like about a softball, about the size of a softball chicken.
But the same thing for the duck.
Yeah,
No, duck's
pretty close.
Duck's a lot more stout. Duck's lower to the ground. Duck is like a wiener dog of fowl.
So,
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good description.
Well, I know my animals, sir.
Now-
This is my first rodeo.
now when you're a quail farmer, I guess they're all bred in captivity. So how do you breed them?
So the breeding process is pretty simple. You just have to make sure that there's a proper ratio, male to female. They're extremely, the males are extremely aggressive breeders.
Yeah, that
So-
means that Doug Funny was a pervert because he was Quail Man.
They're bird rapists.
They Is this ACT or what?
ACT,
Yeah,
yes.
This is ACT, so you need to hold back on your rape story, sir.
Yeah. I did the math
All
on
right.
aggressive bird breeder.
Yeah.
Yeah. They go machismo on each other. But it needs to be one male to like a minimum of 4 females.
Yeah, all right. Just call me Quail, Little Quail Danny.
And then how do you know that the egg is actually fertilized when they lay it?
So you won't know until you incubate it. You can assume that it is fertilized if all the males are mature. Then you can assume that they're fertilized. And what you do is you set them aside on the counter or like in a cool, dark place for about a week. Let them rest. And then you put them in the incubator, and after 14 days in the incubator, you can candle them, and you can see if there's any kind of embryo activity inside the egg.
Have you done the candle thing where you hold the egg up to the
Oh, you
candle?
look it through it, the light.
Now, I would imagine that you don't use actual candles, but you still use the term, right? Don't they have like a device or a high-powered mag light or something that you use instead of a candle?
Yeah, it's just like some incubators, they come with a like a high LED light on it.
How many
And you can put
million
the egg
candle
on top.
power are we talking?
I don't know. I would say like minimum of 1,000
Yeah.
lumens.
Yeah, I'm a 1,000 lumen guy myself.
So, how many
1,002.
quails do you own, and what are they worth, like per
I don't
quail
believe the
or egg?
plural is quails.
Quill?
Quills.
Quails?
Qualis?
Quail. I like that. Quail.
Qualas.
Quaaludes?
It's kind of like the. I found out
Drew,
that I
get
was
the F
pronouncing
out of our
microwave.
studio.
Get the hell
Take
out
that
of here.
jacket off and whip yourself with your own jacket and get the hell out of here.
Sorry, sir.
No, you guys are good.
So-
Right now, I actually downsized because I had too many males. So I butchered and cooked about 25 of them.
I cooked 25 of my male quails. I had 25 male quails and I put the meat in the male, so it's male quail on male.
How many did you have that was too many?
I started out with 37, and I had about 20 too many. So I'm down to, I got 11 females right now.
How do you choose which? Do you look at all your quail, your men quail, your male quails? You look at all of them, and then you kill them based on how stupid they look, right?
How noisy they are.
Okay, I knew there was something. You're laughing like I'm an idiot, but I'm telling you that, you know what? Life is brutal, Tom.
So what?
Well, we had the neighbors were complaining about the roosters, which is what you call the males, just like a chicken, were crowing too loud.
This guy with his goddamn quails over there. I'm just trying to watch the news, and he's over there with his goddamn rooster quails.
So what are they worth? Like, what does this hobby bring you in? Like, you said you cooked 25 quails. Like, what is
That's a
one
lot
quail
of quail
worth?
farts.
Like,
So you can sell like a whole one, like freshly butchered and skinned and all that, for like around $9.
$9? My God, that's more expensive than Boston Market.
Yeah.
I could just go
Yeah,
up the
that's
road.
nothing.
I could just go up the road and get me a goddamn quail pot pie or a meatloaf Sammy.
I'm not joking. I will do nothing for $9. Like, if you offer me $9, I'm sorry. I don't want to sound like uppity or whatever, but
Bougie.
it's just
Bougie Tom says $9 is $9 too little.
I definitely won't be butchering a quail.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to do it. And plus, you have to use a tiny cleaver because you got a big cleaver. You're going to cut that thing all to pieces.
I'm ripping the feathers out,
No,
the
bro,
whole
it's
boil.
to butcher a quail is super easy. You just get a big pair of scissors, chop off the head, chop off the legs, chop off the wings, and then you peel the skin off.
Just make sure they're Fiskers.
terrible.
You just-
Fisker Fiskers. That's
But-
a good brand. Orange handle.
By the way, you said
that's
super
what I got.
easy and then described the process that sounded not only horrible, but at least a little hard, right? You're like, you just have to chop the feet and chop the beak and chop the neck and chop the head and pull the feathers.
And skin it.
Yeah, skin it and boil it. It's super easy.
Takes 3 minutes.
That takes
3
more. Hold on.
minutes. Hold on a second. Microwave popcorn takes 3 minutes, and what you described is not microwave popcorn, sir.
So now, do you keep them in a giant coop, or how does it work?
Yeah, so right now I've got a, I don't know, it's about like a 9x8 coop, and it's about 6 feet tall in the middle, so they have a tendency to jump and fly, and
idiots.
That height, I had to kill one of them because he got brain damage, and he was walking around like a derp.
You can't say that. You can't say that. I don't know. What are the rules on quail?
It's a different time.
Yeah. I
would say it's a different time about current time. Anyway, so, okay, you've got these 30 quails, whatever. You get down to 11. Like, they lay eggs every single day like a chicken?
Yep.
And then what do you do with the quail eggs? How much are those worth?
So you can sell 15 of them. The standard is about 15, and you can sell those.
Oh, that's a Quailey's dozen. I rarely make Sam laugh, and I'm very proud of him.
Oh my God, Quailey's dozen.
So how much?
You can sell that for about $8. For 15 of them.
Again,
this is a lot of work, man. You got to wash the poo-poo off the kawaka? Do they have a kawaka?
No.
They got a kawaka, though, right?
Kawaka?
Kawaka. It's the vent.
I like kawaka better.
It's where the egg falls out of the fowl is called the kawaka.
But then everything goes out, hole. Right?
Yeah, because their poop and pee mixes and becomes white, which is just, come on, birds. Get a better system.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's say I have, I got 30 quails in my backyard, and I'm doing what you're doing. I'm getting the eggs every once in a while.
You got the fiskers out. You're chopping the wings. You got a brain dead one. You're whacking him against the coop.
I'm butchering them up, all the stuff. How much can I make in 1 year off my 30 quails?
Honestly, it's going to be dependent upon how much you consume. Because, like, right now, we give, like, a couple eggs to, like, neighbors and friends. And the meat we give to neighbors and friends that we don't eat, but I'm not producing enough right now to be, like, commercial.
So you're just doing it as a
hobby.
It's a hobby.
Weird hobby Wednesday.
Well,
what did you think this was?
But there's a lot of hobbies you make side cash. So he's just doing it for food and some eggs.
Is your wife part of this? Is she like?
By the way, your neighbors don't want your quail eggs. They take it like I would take it, where you offer them to me, and I'm too
right in the trash.
I'm too awkward to say no, and then I bring them home to my wife, and she's like, "Ew, disgusting!"
Yeah, right in the trash. I had a neighbor one time.
Brown and bloody.
I had a neighbor one time give me a chocolate bar, and they were like, "This is from our recent trip to New Mexico. It's got habanero peppers in it," and I put it right in the trash. Nobody needs that.
When you give me your locally sourced honey that you made with your own bees, right in the trash.
Whatever. And we had that happen this morning. Tom got a package from a listener. He's like, "Hey, I made some jams and jellies. This is like our local honey. This has got some. It's got some basil in it." And Tom was like, "Basil." And he punted it right into the dumpster. We don't even wash the jars out and save them.
Probably laced with THC.
No, I would keep it then, sir.
We smelled it to make
sure. It has
sure.
nothing to do with anything because I'm afraid it's poison or has drugs in it. I want it to have drugs. I just don't respect anybody.
Okay, that's we did. It's on my desk. We didn't throw it out. So tell me about. So is your wife involved in this? Does she get the shears out? Is she chopping them good? Like, what is this a family affair? Do your kids do it?
Actually, so my wife doesn't want anything to do with the butcher process. My daughter, on the other hand, is hilarious. She's almost 2 years old, but she talks like she's 5. And she likes to hold the birdies, and she calls them birdies. She likes to hold them, and when I'm butchering them, I let her hold it real quick, and then I say, "Okay, say bye-bye, birdie," and she goes, "Bye-bye, birdie," and then I butcher it.
You're raising a serial killer, sir.
I mean, that's a psycho thing to do.
That is a little psycho. I'm not sure. I think we should cut this out, like you and your playing with the kids in the pool thing.
Yeah. So,
she's learning what it's like to raise your own.
Yeah,
food
she's a farm
and
gal.
Where your food comes from.
She will be a female protagonist in the newest Red Dead Redemption 3.
So
there's always
I
a
hope
strong
so.
female character that has a farming element.
if you put a chicken, a quail, a turkey,
That's a turducken.
No, a pheasant. What other birds that people eat?
Crow.
Duck.
A duck. If you put them
You
all,
only eat crow.
You eat goose. I saw that's in
goose,
in,
yeah.
Charles Dickens.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
get the goose out of the window.
you get a famous chef to make all the birds, so they're cooked all as good as you can make them
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Which is considered the best?
Humming.
The best bird to eat.
Hummingbird. Hardest to get. Sweetest meat,
I guess
fastest
it
wings.
depends on what part of the bird you're eating. Like,
Well, didn't they
with
say the
ducks,
sandhill
you do,
crane is like the steak of the sky? But you're not supposed to
Yeah,
eat it.
steak of the sky.
Yeah,
I
but
remember
you're-
steak of the
But
sky.
you're not
Write down-
supposed to eat it, right?
Write down steak of the sky. We're getting this one. We're gonna get one. We're gonna try this.
Yeah. We can
You
get
can
it.
get it
You're not in
legally.
Florida.
What if we went into this?
You can get a sand crane.
We got a place here now in Orlando that's a chain all across the nation. Write this down as a lead. Maybe we can get these guys on board. Wild Fork.
All right.
We got a Wild Fork here in town. I'll walk in there and you give me a sand hill. Give me 2 sand hills.
According to Google, the
Give me a
most
couple ibises too.
delicious game bird is the bob white quail.
Bob White.
No, so it is.
Do you got any bob whites over there? Quail man?
No, I do the pharaohs.
No, not as good.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ferret.
Yeah. So,
Ferret quail.
pharaoh.
Oh, feral
ferret.
quail.
Feral quail.
So is it the breast meat? What? If you're skinning and is it similar to other chickens that we know? You see the drums, the feet, and then I don't know.
You got thighs, you got breasts,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got drummies, and you got wings. That's about it. Everything else is
don't-
going to be garbage that my mom ate, like gizzards and skins and feet.
Yeah, the all the innards and stuff. I mean, you could cook them and eat them, but they're so small. And the wings, they're so small that I cut those off and then I freeze them and I sell those for bird dogs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you
The
sold them
trainers
for
use it to-
little people's Super Bowl parties.
Yes.
That'd be funny, right? It'd be funny. It's like, hey,
Send us a
Perfect for
quail.
their size mouth.
send us one quail in a box,
Yeah, yeah.
non-butcher. It'll make it here, right? If you just put them in a box and...
Put some seeds in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, don't do
All right.
anything that'll get either of us in trouble. But I will.
No,
Can we
yeah.
come visit your quail farm?
Hell yeah.
Where do
Live
you-
from the coop.
Where is it? Bithla? Where do you live?
I'm actually in Castleberry.
Dude, this was the
There's
best.
a quail
no,
farm in
no.
Castleberry?
No, they don't
Yeah.
allow quails in Castleberry.
Castleberry is a quail farm. It was built on the
Oh
backs of
my
millions
God.
of quail. That's quail land over there.
So quail is such a strange animal as far as the city's concerned. I'm actually in county, so the city ordinances don't even apply to me. But the county doesn't give a crap about quail.
Yeah, we know. All you guys have at Castleberry, Tijuana Flats and quail. That's it.
Hold on. So are you just in some neighborhood like I live in, and then you got a big ass quail coop screaming back there, and your neighbors are
Well,
pissed?
your mother-in-law.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Everybody
feel
at
bad?
Castleberry has birds. Everybody. It's all birds
God.
in there.
Yeah.
Like
I
Volusia
like
County
the
is all
illegal version of
snakes.
the-
Yeah, okay.
Volusia County is all snakes.
All right.
Castleberry, Seminole County, that's all birds.
Yeah, okay.
Orange County is all Teslas. It's weird. We're all Teslas.
So, all right. Well, thanks for telling us about your hobby. At the end of the day, how much money do you actually spend on this hobby?
It's about $20 a month for the feed, and another $10 a month for replenishing their hay that they walk around on.
That's not bad.
So
It's almost like a subscription to Paramount Plus or Peacock.
Seems worth it. You get a couple dozen Disgusto quail eggs.
You get some,
and then a tiny little bird meat
Yeah,
to
couple
give to your
of-
neighbors who are pissed.
and some tiny wigs. And some scissors, and you're scarring your child.
Yeah, seems totally worth it.
Well, hey, thanks for calling in, and you're a very good sport, and we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on the show. And anytime you guys want to come check out the quail, you're welcome to come over.
All right, man.
right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Daniel just said that.
Quail you soon.
He'll never come look at your.
I'll do it.
He won't even look at the pictures if you send it an email.
Yes, I will. Now, that is not true. I answer everybody's email. You're the one that doesn't read emails.
No.
The only thing
You responded to an email of mine this morning.
I did. I respond to everybody's email. The only thing Tom wants from our listeners are just pictures of their wife's boobs.
No.
That's it. That's all he wants.
I said I look at them all.
I know.
I see them all. The boobs.
I know you do.
Yeah, Daniel was right.
I know
All
you
right.
do.
I should have said that at the beginning. Anyway, bye-bye.